Live from the Toad Hop Network studios.
In Hollywood, this is the ToadHopNetwork.com.
It is strongly addictive.
Radio worth watching.
Radio worth watching.
Something feels right. Something feels right. I got to tell you, it's the Schmoes Know podcast. I'm Christian Harloff.
And I am Mark Ellison. This is exciting to have the band back together. We're back on the mission from God.
It was hard listening to you saps last week talk all your lovey-dovey crap.
Well, look, if everybody in the podcast hadn't been attacked by Cupid's love arrows, then maybe we would have had a full show last week. But we missed Christian Harloff. We missed Tiffany Smith. We missed Josh Macuga. They all had something better to do on Valentine's Day than hang out with me.
It was a very nice podcast. It was nice to listen to you. I was able to pop in with my wife. You guys held the fort down. Ellis, you kicked ass like you normally do.
Well, you popped in. Your wife came to play.
She kicked ass.
Yeah,
she kicked
Sadie
ass.
it should be the Mark and Sadie show, but that's a topic for another day.
You couldn't just say the Sadie show. Had to throw Sadie and Mark.
And he had to put his name first.
Of course. All right, guys. This is Schmoes Know movie show. Again, Christian, Mark, and joined by the lovely Tiffany Smith as always.
Hello.
Now we are happy to have a great guest with us today. A guy who's very knowledgeable in films. He is Fred Topel.
Yay! Freddie!
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Fred is from Crave Online and Manhattan. And Fred, it's a pleasure to have you in studio today.
Well, thanks for having me.
No
I'm glad
problem.
to be here.
We're going to talk about a lot of cool stuff today. There's a lot. I mean, again, there's sometimes we do themes. Not today. Today's all about the news. There's tons of news happening, but there's a kind of something that I wanted to tell Schmoville about first. Was that at around 8:30, a little later, the guy who broke the story about Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Going back to
perhaps being in Star Wars Episode 7 and then thereby giving me a point on my Star Wars fantasy team, giving the Cloud City Rollers their very first point.
Well, a guy who's very accurate, El Mayimbe from Latino Review, is going to be calling in around 8:30. We're going to be able to talk to him about his stuff and how he got. Maybe we'll find out how he got the scoop. I doubt it, but we'll talk about see what he thinks as far as who's got a good shot to win this fantasy thing.
It's exciting talking to a real life reporter. See, getting the scoop.
Fred, what do you think about us nerds? The fact that we came up with a fantasy draft with Star Wars.
A way to make Star Wars even nerdier.
Yeah, that's true.
I was wondering who thought Harrison Ford or any of the original cast members wouldn't come back. Who's betting against you?
Yeah, no. The way it worked was we did a kind of fantasy draft style, so they were on the board, like when you put them in a pool. And Mark, I think you were like the third pick.
I was the second pick in the overall draft.
So Harrison Ford went second. Luke went first. So we're big nerds here.
To answer your question, I love it, and I think it's great the way this whole announcement has kept something in the news every week.
Yeah, it's true. And
Star Wars related, it's like your inner child gets a little Reese's Piece every week. You get fed a little bit of your soul, and then it's all leading up to obviously the disaster that will be Episode 7 that won't possibly live up to our expectations.
Stop it.
But in the meantime, man, I cannot wait to keep getting Star Wars news.
Did this happen with the prequels? The internet was still new back then, and no one expected that the prequels wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
So now there's a whole new machine like pumping out this news information every week.
I think Star Wars has been wounded by the prequels. It's like it got hurt. It's like when Ivan Drago gets cut. Oh no, the Russian got cut. It's mortal. So now we really have to come to play. And I think J.J. Abrams is the perfect guy to helm it. As we mentioned before, I am so excited just to see a trailer. That's all I want.
Yeah. When something's so bad and you get a new chance at it, you're kind of like going in with really low expectations. I hope that no one's going to be like, "This is going to be the greatest thing ever."
Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
All right, so and Kenny too. All right, there's a lot of stuff that besides Episode 7. Speaking of Kenny, we're going to have him talk about his news in a second here too, because we're going to drop some of these stories. We're going to comment on the stories that have been going on in the news this week, but we have to throw it to Schmoville every week at Schmoes Know, at Tiffany's tweets. And again, today at Fred Topel, Topel. Tweet in the stuff that you want to talk about. And again, Facebook.com/Schmoes Know. Start a dialogue there.
And they can call us, too, at 323-622-8623. And I personally just want to thank Schmoville real quick for keeping me nice and warm and toasty during a lonely Valentine's Day evening near the podcast. They were so great. Everybody was on board.
Well, you know what else kept you toasty? Our new sponsor, Imperial Beer. You like that?
Wow. Imperial Beer from North American Brewing Company.
Segue.
I appreciate it. All right, speaking of segues, let's get into this news because we got a lot to talk about. Let's talk about the one, the only, the producer of the show, Kenny Napzok.
I'm Ken Napzok, and these are your Schmoes Know headlines, sponsored by Imperial Beer. Hey, did you hear they're making a new Star Wars movie? Yeah, it's true. In a story first broke by Latino Review, Harrison Ford is said to be returning to the role that turned him from skilled carpenter to idol of men and boys. That's right, Han Solo will be back, but let's really point out that nothing has been confirmed, and you get the sense that if you keep pushing, Harrison would just back out to stay at home and not eat dinner with Callista Flockhart. Rumors building that...
Too soon.
Rumors building that Ford will soon be joined by Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, and others in Episode 7. And great Scott and Marty, the plot will center around their children. The moment Ford confirms, we will let you know. In a related story, it's not much of a surprise, but Kathleen Kennedy, a.k.a. the head of Lucasfilm, has left her producing gig on Jurassic Park 4 to make sure that Star Wars fanboys have something to camp out for starting in 2015. Frank Marshall remains in the producer role with Steven Spielberg as executive producer, which just means occasionally someone says, Steven, you okay with us diluting this franchise even more? Cool. The Guardians of the Galaxy project may have found another team member. All signs point to Jason Momoa being offered the role of Drax, the Destroyer. Drax was Arthur Douglas, just your average human that was attacked and killed by the supervillain Thanos. Then Kronos took over Arthur's spirit and placed him in a powerful new body, and voila, you have Drax the Destroyer. He was also a member of the group called the Infinity Watch, and by saying the last three sentences, I've regained my virginity. Momoa, of course, is best known as Khal Drogo, a.k.a. the only reason your girlfriend was okay with you watching the sex scenes in Game of Thrones for a season. More casting news. Jason Clarke, recently of Zero Dark 30 and Lawless fame, has joined the cast of the Planet of the Apes sequel. Matt Reeves is, of course, taking over the director reins. The plot is said to pick up 15 years from the last film and revolve around San Francisco scientists trying to survive on their own while Caesar continues to maintain control over his fellow apes. Clark's role is unknown for now, but it's a good bet that at some point he runs from an ape. And finally, Jennifer Lawrence will reunite with her Silver Linings Playbook director David O. Russell for The Ends of the Earth. Argo's Chris Terrio wrote the script that centers around an oil tycoon losing his fortune after being caught up in an affair. Lawrence will be in one of the lead roles and has also not returned my phone calls. Seriously, it's just coffee, Jennifer. Take a chance. I'm Ken Napzok, and those were your Schmoes Know headlines brought to you by Imperial Beer, a Costa Rican lager from N.A. Breweries.
Love it. Kenny Napzok.
Kenny, the virgin Napzok.
Yeah,
I don't want to give beer too much credit as a creative aphrodisiac, if you will, but this news has just gotten better and better since Imperial. Since we got Kenny liquored up.
It's the truth.
He's like probably asked someone out on a date in every news segment since the Imperial Beer has shown up.
And then once they said no, he drowned his sorrows with Imperial Beer.
He's like, I'll just keep trying. Just keep swinging.
Jennifer Lawrence, there's a story about you.
All right, so let's get into some of these stories. So I'd like to hear Fred's take on some of these things too. Like, in regards to let's start with the Jennifer Clarke.
She's on your mind too, huh?
She's pretty hot. That Jennifer Clarke. All right, Jason Clarke returning, or actually being in Apes now. This to me is exciting, and I wrote when this news broke. I had wrote, I guess, on our Facebook page that I said, okay, I'm excited again, because when Rupert Wyatt was replaced, I said, shit, because that was the guy that made that movie cool.
Yeah.
Then the screenwriters went off of it, and now it seems like they're forming some new stuff. Fred, how do you feel about this Jason Clarke casting?
Well, it's great. He's a great actor, and we still don't know anything about very little about where the story's going to go. I sort of like the idea of post-apocalyptic survival with apes. I mean, we've seen both of those genres before, but to see all of the scientists foraging for supplies, Mad Max style, and then apes come along and bash them over the head,
right?
That'll be cool. So whatever that means for Jason Clarke's character, I'm sure he will do some good foraging.
What it means for us, though, it means that the casting has their shit together, because that guy is the next big thing.
Hey, I'll tell you this. If he's that good at torturing terrorists, imagine what he's going to do with some unruly monkeys running around.
Yeah, it's true. I mean,
look out, Caesar.
Now we
Brutus is on deck.
we replaced James Franco. We get rid of, and look, James Franco, to his credit, sometimes puts in incredible performances.
Like at the Oscars.
I was just going to say the opposite thing, because you're a son of a bitch.
A little quicker to the draw. You're rusty.
But, I am rusty, but I missed the Valentine's Day show. So Jason Clarke is now, I guess, hungrier, we would say, than because Franco didn't add anything to that last Apes movie. He didn't. I mean, he was good in it.
He didn't add, but he didn't take anything away either.
100%.
He was just there.
Right. As where I think Jason Clarke will add a lot. And probably because his character's going to have more to do, and because you're going to have that sub-story now with Caesar, and like Fred said, now you're going to see the humans really surviving, and that's kind of where it really gets interesting in this planet.
I feel like sometimes, though, I get a little worried when a lot of changes are going on, and then they bring in a big name, where it's like, especially for him, because he hasn't had like Zero Dark 30 was big, but not big for him. Like everyone's Jessica Chastain, and then if you're really into it, you're like, okay, who's this guy?
It wasn't his movie.
I'm a little scared that this is his moment to be like, okay, I'm going to take on this big blockbuster. And
yeah, but I don't think he's that kind. I don't think he's that kind of actor.
Well, the big blockbuster,
Lawless, man. Did you see him in Lawless? He wasn't a blockbuster.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Where it's like he hasn't had that moment yet.
I know.
So
but
this is the apes. This is the apes movie, though. Like it's not just like a bunch of humans hanging out. This is the apes movie. This is Andy Serkis's movie.
Right.
You know, we're just all playing in his world.
Yeah.
That was one of the good things about Rise of the Planet of the Apes. It was really the ape stories, and maybe James Franco didn't do like action hero stuff, but he was there to facilitate the. And are you sure we're not going to see him like for a 5-minute cameo, holed up in a cave for the past 15 years with a big beard?
Nah, I know, right? And he's got to take his arm off. But yeah, what's that?
There was a
stick your face in there.
Yeah, there was I read a summary that Franco's character actually died from the plague that started at the end of the original. So it's picking up, 15 years later, I heard.
Thank you, Riley.
15 years
Thank
from
you,
the...
Facty McFacty.
Or did he?
Yeah, no, you know, that's true. Too soon. Yeah, no, I mean, it'd be interesting to see what happens with that story. It's forming. I'm excited with the direction they're going, so...
If I got to get behind one guy in the post-apocalyptic ape world, I'm choosing Jason Clarke over James Franco.
Yeah, me too. All right,
Yes,
so moving on now. What?
Oh, geez.
Uh-oh.
Here we
Trusting
go.
James Franco in a post-apocalyptic world.
No. Are you listening? You're chugging beer back there.
He said
No,
he
I
would
said I would rather have Jason Clarke.
than Franco.
Now, obviously, Josh... Wait, no, come here, Josh, because...
He got really excited.
Here's Josh's problem, is that Josh doesn't have to worry about apes taking over, because when apes take over the world, they're just going to look at him, and they're just going to start grooming him.
Yeah.
You got the bananas, boys. Let's go. Imperial bananas. Let's do it.
Listen, I'm a hairy individual. Me and apes have something in common. Okay?
Yeah.
What we don't have in common is believing that James Franco is somewhat of a scientist.
I know.
That he can invent some kind of
Him and Denise Richards.
pure. Yeah. So let's just give Jason.
Josh, do me a favor. Look at that camera right there and just do this with your thumb. I just want to see if you can... Oh, he's learning.
Congratulations.
They're getting
I
smarter.
feel like we should do a list of like the worst cast scientists ever in movies because I feel like that happens
Denise
a lot.
Richards.
How about
the
you know
world
what?
is not enough.
That's where we'll call out Schmoeville. Schmoeville, who are the worst actors cast as scientists?
Or actresses.
Not necessarily,
actresses.
yeah, and not
Actresses.
necessarily that they're a bad actor, but that they just
Miscast.
don't- Yeah.
Miscast. They can be bad actors, though.
Yeah,
Denise
they
Richards
could,
is number one. So make sure you put it on our Facebook page, put it on Twitter, and you can.
That's a great question.
It's a good one. All right. So let's moving on now. The other story is Kenny's girlfriend Jennifer Lawrence is working again with David O. Russell. Johnny Ice, you got the David O. Russell clips too. This is something that has happened in the David O. Russell movie once before.
I'm just trying to fucking help you. Do you understand me? I'm being a fucking collaborator. I was trying to help you figure out the fucking picture. Hey, bitch, I'm not here to be fucking yelled at. I worked on this fucking thing for 3 fucking years. Not to have some fucking cunt yell at me in front of the fucking crew when I'm trying to fucking help you, bitch. Figure it out yourself.
Is that from a movie?
Yeah,
Are we
that's
playing the
fine.
game?
That was during. No, that's between David O. Russell and Lily Tomlin during the outtakes of I Heart Huckabees, which he directed. So he can lose his shit. But Jennifer Lawrence, I feel, would kick him in the throat if he did that to her.
Wow. Okay. Well, it's nice to have a director with some passion.
Fred, do you feel David O. Russell's calmed down since that tirade?
Absolutely. You could tell with The Fighter, that was his sort of apology movie. Like, look, I can do a calm movie. I can get along with everyone. Yeah. And it seems like he's gotten out of
An
Hollywood
Oscar
jail.
darling now.
Yeah. He got out of Hollywood jail. And a lot of people who worked with him work with him again. Not everyone, but...
Well, most famously, he had the fist fight with George Clooney on the set of Three Kings.
Really?
Clooney and Tomlin have not worked with him again, but Mark Wahlberg's done a lot, and Jennifer Lawrence is coming back.
He seems like the nicest guy. Christian and I had the privilege of actually being in the room with David O. Russell. I can't remember if we went to Buffalo Wild Wings with him or we were at the screening of The Fighter. And then afterwards, he came on stage with Christian Bale. And remember?
Oh, right.
Yeah, we were there, and he seemed like the coolest guy in the world. So that's my opinion of him.
I don't know if I believe this story because Mark is so sold and Christian's like,
No, it definitely happened because David O. Russell was there, but Christian was blown away because we just saw Christian Bale, like heroin addict, in this movie, and then real Christian Bale steps in, fresh off the set of Batman with a beard. Christian thought it was Jim Morrison for the first 10 minutes. He's like, dude, that's the Lizard King.
Yeah, that's true. We've got a couple tweets from Schmoes. Sarah Polly and Splice, good one. We have
forgot about that picture.
Yeah, so we have from Chris at Night of Steel 87, not a scientist, but Robin Williams, Patch Adams, that's doctor. But let's see. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Spencer McCody says Seth Rogen. Couldn't believe him in the guilt trip. That's a good one too. So
who was
I got so.
What about the douche nozzle in Prometheus?
That's my worst.
Lumi Rapace.
Oh right.
Not the girl.
Oh, the Tom Hardy ripoff.
The hot dude.
The guy
the super hot dude. That's a model.
You got JJ Kressel says Emma Stone in Amazing Spider-Man. So
that's not
a good
bad.
One. Yeah, that's a good one.
Denise Richards as a nuclear physicist still takes the cake. Like, I have a better chance of landing a role playing Denzel Washington than she does being a nuclear physicist.
You're taking that way out of context, though. For a Bond girl to be named Christmas Jones and a nuclear physicist played by Denise Richards, it wasn't like they didn't know what they were casting there.
Yeah. I still think the director's like, I didn't know she was this dumb. Like, I didn't know she couldn't even get a line out.
I think she was lovely in that movie.
Oh, you stop it! You stop it! You know her. All right, so we have someone on Facebook. Reed Sweat says in comment to the scientist thing, Megan Fox in the Dolphin commercial, not a movie, but it still comes to mind. That's anything with Megan Fox.
She and Macuga have the same thumbs, apparently. I didn't know. I just found that out.
Yeah. All right. So the question though is, so how do we feel about Jennifer Lawrence working again with David O. Russell? I mean, so far they got magic. Do you think that they're going to strike magic again the second time? How do we feel about this?
I think it's hard to mess up what they had with Silver Linings Playbook, and it's another. And Bradley Cooper's in the picture as well, if I'm not mistaken. Bradley Cooper
is that the Facty? There he is.
Yeah,
good.
I think so too.
What the hell
Facty's getting high, but so
on board,
I say let's Three's Company this. Let's have them to work multiple times together. Silver Linings was such a good movie. They took a little story, knocked it out of the park. I can't wait to see it again.
Yeah. All right. So then we have this Jurassic Park story. Stupid. Now what happened? The Jurassic Park.
He's just shaking his head.
No. Everybody frowns on me when I get a little too hosty because I'm such a funny guy.
What'd you do?
I get a little. I put a nice button on things, and then everybody starts looking. They're like, "Oh, look who took an acting class this weekend."
Why do you get so upset? With
I don't
everybody?
know.
You're so upset.
I'm not upset.
I thought it was a nice thing.
I'm not shouting.
No one said anything.
I'm not upset.
They got to talk you down a little bit.
I'm mad as hell.
We all like you very much.
The apes are taking over, man.
You don't need to start acting like that phone call.
Wait, Johnny Ice had something to say. What was that, Johnny?
Leave me the fuck alone.
Thank you, Johnny.
Fuck you, motherfucker.
All right. Thank you, Johnny. All right. Hey, you're in Schmoville. Who do we got? Quiet over there, cackler. Who do we got?
Hi, it's Sam Blackburn.
Hey, man, what's going on? So what do you got?
What story are you on? I'm kind of on backlog here.
Okay. So we were just talking about, we talked about bad scientists in films. We're talking about David O. Russell working again with Jennifer Lawrence. How do you feel about David O. Russell and Jennifer Lawrence working together again?
I'm optimistic about it. They were good. I really like Silver Linings Playbook a lot. I think it could work again.
Okay. I mean, thank you very much for the call. It looks like, again, people are supportive. How could you not be at this point with David O. Russell, who, like Fred said, he's back in Hollywood's good side. He's got 2 years in a row. It was Fighter was last year, right? Or was it 2 years ago? 2 years ago. All right. Right. 2 years in 2 movies in a row. So, all right, now let's get into this the Jurassic Park thing. We had that's what I want to talk about. Kathleen Kennedy, who we all know is producing the big dog.
She's the gal at the helm of this new Disney Lucasfilm thing.
So to nobody's surprise, she's taken off to do Star Wars and leaving Jurassic Park behind. Do we want to just see Jurassic Park die at this point, Fred?
No, I never want to see any franchise die.
Ever?
I think they should keep
Die Hard, you think?
Everything. Because the next one could always be a great new twist.
Yeah, but
I totally agree.
I don't believe in endings. I think endings are artificial. So the idea that this is the ending and we never make any more, that doesn't make sense.
So you'd want to see Inception 2?
Sure. That would make it more exciting. That would add so many layers to Inception 1.
What if they shit the bed, though, and they ruin everything like the prequels did to Star Wars? Really?
Well, they didn't ruin the movies that were made before.
Yeah,
you can still watch
that's
them.
the thing.
They ruined Darth Vader. They ruined Darth Vader.
No, they took away his mystery. They still didn't. They still, it was a character, but you can still watch The Empire Strikes Back and just love it as a movie in and of itself.
But it taints it.
Yeah,
and I understand your points. I understand your points, but because now when you go back and watch Empire, hold on one second. When you watch Empire the first time, you never seen any anything else, you say this is a badass motherfucker, right? When you see what he's doing, and then you go back, this is the guy that went, I hate sand.
No, you just make sure you show your kids episodes 4, 5, and 6 first.
Yeah,
they can do whatever they want with the prequels, but just we preserve the right order.
Yeah.
I think, to quote another great man who's in the same shape as I am, you weak-minded fool.
Yeah.
Just watch it and enjoy that movie. You don't have to think about all this other stuff that goes on.
You're too attached to material possessions, man.
Well, listen, for the
Burn
Star
your
Wars,
TV, man.
All right, we'll talk about Star Wars in a second. Let's talk about this Jurassic Park thing. So we have... Now, I agree that it could be cool if they get
the record. I'm excited. I was excited when I heard that the Jurassic Park, because enough time has gone by to where now we can let's clear.
Yeah, I was taking it from the other point too. If they do it right, going to Fred's point, I agree that if there's a cool version, there hasn't been really good Jurassic Park since the first one. Third one was okay, but they started talking to each other. Yeah. But right.
Hey, Dinah, what are you up to? I'm just looking for some humans. How about you?
Right. Yeah. So, I was just eating some plants. So I'd like to see
all the dinosaurs make fun of the vegan one. Like, hey, Brontosaurus, why don't you have some more flowers?
Yeah, behind his back though, because he's huge. But anyway, it would be cool if they got back to that tone. And again, it's like anything else. You need the right director, you need the right writer. And
having said all that, though, I want all reinforcements. I want all hands on deck for Star Wars. If you're working on another project, get off it. Get on to Star Wars. But this is the ship we need to write.
All right, so let's talk. How many? We got 4 minutes, 3 minutes. All right, so real quick, because we're gonna get into, because we can't wait for El Mayimbe. He's gonna call him. We're gonna talk about his scoop. But let's tease this a little bit with the talk. Now, there's some stuff going on with Episode 7. We know that Harrison Ford is rumored. Now, the big news this week was that that Mark Hamill is now rumored with Carrie Fisher to go in there, and now there's a possibility that the news story could be rumored around the Legacy of the Force novel, to where we're going to have it all about Han Solo's kids.
Yeah.
Is this a cool story, Freddie? What's going on? Like the fact that it could be the kids?
I don't know that story you referenced, but my understanding was they're not going to use any pre-existing material. It can be about their kids, but they'll have
that was the rumor. But there's a lot. Just J.J. Abrams also said that he wasn't going to direct the movie, so I don't know how much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I think. About their kids, isn't that what we thought it was going to be back in 1983 when Return of the Jedi ended?
But this particular story, the way that the rumors are coming out, it just seems like everything's kind of formulating to this, because it's supposed the protagonist is supposed to be a female, and Jason Solo it's the other twin who goes to the dark side.
Is that a dude?
Jason Solo.
His last name's Solo.
Macuga hates it.
If they change one thing from the book, it's probably going to be the name Jason Solo.
It's Jacen, but whatever.
It's still spelled, otherworldly.
Are you sure it's not a hard C? J-Ken Solo. I'm not buying Jason.
It could be Jack and Solo, but
no,
you're on to something.
Here's my buddy Brad Solo. We're just hanging out at the mall. Shut up.
Yeah. Hey, this is Hank Solo.
Hey, you know my buddy Frank Vader? So, but anyway, it rumors around that these two twins, it goes back to the original themes of the original trilogy, that it's about family, back and forth, and that they ultimately have to fight each other. But the reason why this girl's a protagonist, and that's where the rumors of Chloe Moretz came in, that it was kind of rumored around her. That to me,
Christian's so excited about, because she's on your list.
Yeah, she's on my team. Absolutely. And
it would be a cool story, and it'd be great. A title for Episode 7. You call it Episode 7.
Yeah.
It's a girl! Exclamation point. But I think that the reason why all these Legacy of the Force rumors are around,
the clones.
Anything, right?
War.
Yeah.
I think that the reason why it's all these rumors are about this particular novel is because that's maybe the closest that it would be to the actual script. It's like we don't have any source material to go on that's fact. So it's like, which Star Wars novel? Oh, is it that one that Timothy Zahn wrote?
It's just that there was references. That the report that came out was this, that it seems similar to this. But
I feel like we knew that stuff like when we started doing the draft. That's what we talked about. That's why a lot of the people who I chose, I was like, I want young people.
Yeah. Now, something I want to, again,
I like young people.
I like the young ones.
I suppose it's interesting that they're going as specifically as the kids of Luke and Leia and Han. I mean, it could have been a next generation not related to them, so that's somewhat specific.
Yeah, and I love that, though.
It's just creepy if you're hanging out at the Jedi Academy all day with this old Skywalker guy, and he's not your dad. Just weird.
It just ties us back to the original trilogy again, because it gives everybody that sigh of relief when you hear Harrison Ford and all these people are coming back. You go, Oh, okay. They're going to give me. I'm going to be reminded again of what I loved about this franchise.
Yeah.
All right, and
I can get my mom in the theater that way. Hey, Mom, Harrison Ford's going to be in it.
Exactly.
Oh, let's go.
That being said, guys, when we get back, we're very excited we're going to take a phone call from the man who broke the story himself of Harrison Ford getting the role, El Mayimbe, for the Schmoes Know podcast. Fred Topel, Tiffany Smith, Mark Ellis, Christian Harloff. Schmoes Know Movies. We'll be right back. I forgot what this is from.
This is from my gym workout today.
It's pretty good, right?
This is Ellis kicking it in on the treadmill.
I sent this to you. I forget what the hell it is. You know what it is. You're looking at it, right? What is it? Rise of the Planet of the Apes, what we were just talking about. Idiot me. Hey, guys, this is Schmoes Know Movie Show. We're here with Fred Topel from Crave Online, Tiffany Smith from Schmoes Know, Mark Ellis from Schmoes Know, and me from Schmoes Know. Now, here's the thing. We talk about Ripped every week on this show. Mm-hmm. Here's something really cool that I talked to, and I told you about this. You guys know out there, we're doing our Oscar live show next week, about 5.5 hours live.
This
you get to
Sunday.
Watch it. This Sunday. You can watch it with us. We're going to be doing prizes, and we're going to be one of the things that we're doing here. Ripped Apparel is going to give away a free shirt, a free iPhone cover, and a free poster of any design that you want.
Get right out of town.
Now here is how you can win. What we're going to do is
why are you looking at me? I can't win.
Like
We're going to win. We're all going to bet against each other in the Oscar pool.
Yeah, we're all going to fill out our ballots and see who gets the most right.
We'll be taking phone calls during that time. And let's say someone calls up, and then I go, and then you will be assigned to Josh Macuga. So, and if Josh Macuga,
sorry for that poor bastard.
Yeah, if he's hammered and he picks the wrong, and he winds up picking for Mark Ellis to win for Best Actor, you're fucked. But I
have a shot.
But if Josh Macuga wins, then whoever is assigned to him will win all that stuff from Ripped. So that will be next week. Remember that. So go to Ripped Apparel, and you go to the bottom of of our Schmoes Know Toad Hop page, and you can get a discount every day. Just type in Schmoes for $1 off. Okay.
Nice ad.
Thank you.
We're all wearing our Rip stuff tonight, too. I have my fusion of Ghostbusters and Beaker from the Muppets.
And you're getting awkwardly caressed for it.
That was
so if you wear these shirts, you might get awkwardly caressed by Macuga.
That's right.
Bonus.
What happened to Janet Jackson with that Rolling Stone cover?
Kenny, there's a fantastic, what an appropriate shirt that Kenny is wearing right now. You see all the Star Wars stuff. And speaking of Star Wars, again, we're going to have El Mayimbe calling in very shortly to talk about his scoop and to see who he thinks has a shot at winning this fantasy draft. But in the meantime, let's just go back about one other guy. You guys might have heard of this person. Goes by the name of Jack Williams, otherwise known as John Williams, the great composer. And he
all right. Yeah.
What?
What do you mean, Jack Williams?
Jack Williams. John Kennedy. Jack Kennedy. You don't get it?
I know John Williams, and you, sir, are no John Williams.
Right. Anyway, John Williams said that he's going to be, he is interested in coming back to compose the score. Now, wait a minute, because you're usually only saying that.
I want 1 point.
Take caution in your tone, Smith.
What's that? Who Reilly has him. But here's the thing now. But now, if you're J.J. Abrams and you hear this, you go, fuck. Because how do you say no to John Williams? No one has scored a film for one of his films except Michael Giacchino.
Yeah, you know who says fuck? Isn't it that Michael Giacchino who goes, oh shit.
Well, now, Fred, I'd be interested. What do you think is going to happen? What would you like to see happen with this composer war that we're having?
I think in all likelihood it'll be John Williams. It would be probably interesting to see Michael Giacchino get a chance to do it. But, I mean, how could they let that happen? I don't see
I think it's going to be strongly suggested to John Williams that, hey, maybe much like the movie where you have an elder statesman taking an apprentice under his wing in the Jedi Academy, maybe John Williams could be the Obi-Wan Kenobi to Giacchino's Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, what I think is going to happen, I think that they're
making a super group.
I think John Williams is going to get the gig for the first. I'm sorry, Tiffany. I think he's going to get it, and I think that Michael Giacchino, they're going to say, look, John Williams is classic. We don't know how long the guy's going to be around.
I knew you were going to take it dark.
We don't know where he's going to be around.
Just because he might die, we'll give him a couple more.
He's as old as Yoda, and it's like, and so when you have him, I'm just telling you, eventually the guy's not going to be here. It just happens in life.
See, now, you worked at studios before. I've never been in a studio meeting, but I hate to think that they're sitting around thinking, okay, look, the chances that Williams kicks it before the second movie.
You got to play the odds.
I just bought my tickets for the Hollywood Bowl this summer. You better not go
going
before
to.
then.
But listen, the point is that they're going to Michael Giacchino is going to be able to score a lot, whether it be the new trilogy or one of these standalone films. It's just a matter of because they've never not worked together.
Yeah.
Is the interesting thing.
I say you let them both get in there. It'd be like the traveling Wilburys of classical music.
Yeah. Okay, and it's just there's a lot of stuff to be talked about that's happening with Star Wars. You're cackling there like one of the hyenas in The Lion King. What are you doing?
Occasionally, I throw some references. The Ryan Express over here throws heat that you guys can't hit.
Wait,
Macuga hit it.
Kenny Napzok, our producer, is coming in. We got some news. What's the news?
Oh, he has his news face on.
He's going to be calling in right now, so look for that.
Oh,
look for that
okay.
number. Clear those calls. Sorry, Schmoville. We'll get to you later.
Okay. All right. So we're just waiting. We're just waiting right now.
What's the gentleman's name? Because you say it really fast.
El Mayimbe.
Okay. All right.
El Mayimbe.
I did not get that on either pass, but we'll talk to him.
Now you got it. So we're just waiting for his phone call because I'm so curious to find out. Like again, I think
he's the guy.
Yeah,
he's the official guy.
We got him now. He's calling in now. All right. So we are super excited to have him on the show. And he broke one of the biggest stories in movies
We're jacked,
in a long time. So we're very happy to have on the Schmoes Know podcast Mayimbe from Latino Review. What's up, man?
What's poppin', cool kids? What's poppin'?
How you doing, man? Are you like a super celebrity everywhere you go now in geek world?
Well, it's happened only twice so far. You know, I was doing grocery shopping at BJ's, and the kid recognized me. Like, is it true? Is Han Solo coming? Yeah, bro.
So cool, dude. And like again, I have to ask because I'd get crucified. I don't, and I know the answer to this, but who told you?
Can't tell you. The second one was creepy. I was on the subway, and someone saw my Planet Hulk videos. Like, it's really true? They're going to bring back the Hulk? And I'm like, oh, God. I thought I was going to get mugged. And mind you, I'm a pretty sizable guy, so I'm like, sizing this guy up. Okay, does he have a knife or he's a gun? But he's a fanboy. All right, cool.
It's so cool, man. Because again, here's the thing. I have met Mayimbe one time before, and the guy knows his shit, man. Like,
you weren't the kid in the grocery store
he was
referring to.
No. I had a conversation at the time.
Sorry, guys, it was me that cornered him on the subway.
Makes sense. But we have a mutual friend, and we were talking. This is when Guillermo del Toro was still on Lord of the Rings, and I had this conversation.
The Hobbit,
excuse me, The Hobbit, and I had this conversation with Mayimbe, and he's like, "Look, I love Guillermo del Toro. I just have a feeling that Peter Jackson will eventually do this thing." And he was going off a hunch. I think you were going off a hunch, but then lo and behold, what happens? Nostradamus is on the phone. This is what happens.
Well, it's a thrill to talk to kind of the Woodward and Bernstein of the Star Wars genre. This is our Watergate, man.
Yeah, it
you
is.
broke a big story. So my question to you is, when does the rumor become an actual news story that you can break as having gone down? Like what's the straw that breaks the camel's back, making it fact from fiction?
Well, the deal, I can't reveal, obviously, because they'll give away the source, and I might jeopardize someone's job and license, but
that's fine.
That went down in November, even before they had JJ.
Wow.
You know, they wanted to keep it hush-hush. So I'm like, I never really got into the Star Wars scoop thing because, like, in the 90s, it was something that I was sick of. It was everywhere. But I didn't have contacts at Lucasfilm. But then something happened. They moved down from Marin County down to L.A. since they got bought out by Disney. So now their business was everywhere, you know. So
wow.
I went out and of course, I mean, a certain unnamed publication was supposed to get a press release, so they're not too thrilled about that. You know?
Well done, sir. Yeah.
Oh, great. So is that why? So is it?
I just don't like when non-fanboy news outlets break fanboy news.
Yeah, no, you're wondering. I was so happy when I heard that you did it too. I was like, yes, one for us, man.
Yeah.
But you know,
I plan to do a lot more for us. Trust me.
Oh, I can't,
Wait,
dude.
can we
I cannot
talk,
wait.
how do you go about finding a fanboy source? Like,
this guy.
It's real simple. I actually leave the house. You know? Nikki Fig doesn't leave the house. I actually do. So
yeah, and you kick
being
ass.
Bi-coastal, I'm a nightclub guy. I like going out. I like hotels, nightclubs, bottle service and all that. So
you got the drinks flowing and people start spilling info. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, he's smart. He gets people hammered, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, you know that Luke's in this one."
That's actually happened before. The wild thing is I don't even drink. So I'll be sitting down in a bottle, giving somebody hammered up on Grey Goose.
Yeah.
You know, and then something puts out.
This guy, see?
So you just force feed people. You're like, hey, let's go get some drinks. I'm not going to drink anything. Just have it all. Okay, now tell me everything you know.
Yeah. And he's just, look, I'm telling you, the guy, he knows what he's doing.
He may just have taken the place of Harrison Ford as the coolest man in the Star Wars universe. You know, Han Solo's cool, but he ain't getting bottle service at the Mos Eisley Cantina.
So, Mayimbe, let me ask you this then. So, if we have, we're saying so far this Harrison Ford thing is a lock. So that would have to say that then, you know, there's a lot of rumors now with Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher and Anthony Daniels. Does it seem like everybody's coming back, even Peter Mayhew?
Billy D?
From what I heard, they're all coming back. I can't confirm it at this time, but the Harrison Ford was the one holding out because obviously he's the one that went off to become a megastar since Jedi. You know, he had a couple other franchises, played other characters, and had some big hits in the '90s and stuff. So, you know, you gotta read between the lines. One's a private megastar married with kids and not even grandkids now, and the other one, you know, a voiceover actor.
Right.
All due respect, you know, to
Carrie Fisher.
Kind of likes getting attention on ET. You know.
Right.
Yeah. It's nice to be in front of a camera again.
Well,
yeah. So take a wild guess who they spoke to first before they spoke to the rest of the group.
Right.
Harrison Ford, obviously. You know, they need an anchor. Like they need, the way Robert Downey Jr. anchors Iron Man or the Avengers, the way Johnny Depp anchors Pirates of the Caribbean. They need something.
Yeah. So what about this news of John Williams then? Because I don't know if you were able to hear right before you called in. We were talking about now John Williams goes and says that he wants to score one of these things, and if you're Michael Giacchino at this point, you know, are you going? I might have to move to the side because he's never not scored a J.J. Abrams movie.
That's interesting. You know, one's associated. I mean, who scored the last 6? Williams?
Williams has scored every Star Wars movie, but JJ's only ever used one guy. So now you have this new guy coming into the Star Wars universe. Does he bring his pony that's done his movies, or does he use the guy that's still alive and kicking that has done all the Sar Wars movies?
But just barely, as Christian would like to.
I didn't say just barely. I said we're playing the odds here. Eventually, the guy's not going to be able to score.
If I was a handicapper in Vegas right now, the guy who scored the last 6 is most likely the guy's going to get it because he's associated with the brand, and he's also, his scores are iconic.
Yeah.
You know, part of the myth of Star Wars is his scores as well. So it'd be awkward. It would kind of be awkward not to use them. Or maybe they'll work together.
Yeah, that's what we thought, too. And the only reason that I'd say, well, you never know, is because when Bryan Singer did that Superman thing, like, you know, you thought, oh, John Williams has to come back, and then they just had John Ottman doing his music.
Yeah, he borrowed some of the John Williams and ingratiated, which is the way it would go if that was the case in Star Wars.
I think it's a tough one. So the last thing I wanted to ask you before we let you get out of here is, now, again, with the, well, actually, there's 2 things. The first thing is with the rumor that's going on now with, originally they said they're not going to do anything from any type of existing material, but now that there's these rumors that because of there was originally some Chloe Moretz was attached when they thought Matthew Vaughn was going to do it, that it's possibly this Legacy of the Force novel that it looks like it's because the twins, the Solo kids, and all that stuff. Do you think that is possible? Do you know anything? Do we know what the story is?
Well, I know it's very high up. I'm talking. These are like only the senior VPs know, you know. So until I could get one of them drunk in a club in Vegas surrounded by strippers, I'm probably not going to find that one out.
All right.
But right now, I know is that they're writing. You know, they're in treatment stage. They're writing a script and stuff, and they're going back and forth. So we'll see. There's still time to find that out. That's all in due time.
Okay.
Well, it's all very exciting stuff. And if you need someone to get drunk in a Vegas nightclub in the meantime that'll blab to you, I mean, you got my number.
Yeah.
So.
And then
I just don't know how much valuable information he'll be able to tell you.
I'm curious. The last question.
In the world of social media, Twitter, Facebook, tablets, computers, it's still, regardless of all that, the best way to get information. Hollywood's a party town. So is New York. The young, hip, and powerful like to go out and have a drink. That's what they do every night. So some of them, believe it or not, as powerful as they don't have access to certain venues. That's where I fit in.
That's
you tell me what's going on with Justice League, I'll hook you up.
How great is this
guy? I'm already. Do you have any insider information on who's going to win the Super Bowl next year? Can I go ahead and place a bet now?
I wish I had Nate Silver odds like that. You know?
Well, let me ask you one more thing though too. So we do on this show we had a Star Wars fantasy draft for episode 7. It's a very hot topic of conversation on this podcast. Now there are new actors that we have on the list. Is there anyone that and again, not that you know, but if you had a hunch like you did with the El Guillermo, with Guillermo del Toro, do you think that there is anybody out there right now that could be cast in this film? Like a Tom Hardy or a
non-legacy Star Wars.
Chastain.
Tom Hardy. We going young or old?
I mean, look, it could be again
anybody that hasn't been in a Star Wars movie yet.
Yeah, that's got that's someone that could really add to the universe.
Like a Fassbender.
Okay.
Look at that. He's all sex and stuff.
And mind you, let's just look at Red Tails. The kid Nate Parker, who's
yes,
on
sir.
fire right now.
It's on Ellis's list.
Yeah, he's. I think if there was a Lando Calrissian, a young Lando Calrissian, it'd be that guy. I mean, he was a lead in Red Tails.
Yeah,
He's got charisma. Well, he's got a big movie with Liam Neeson coming out this year. He did Arbitrage. He got a movie that was at Sundance. The kid's on fire right now, So
someone else
got the swag to bring Colt 45 and Lando to life.
Well, someone else who's on fire is you, my friend. You're breaking a lot of stories, and when you're in LA, you got to come visit us in studio, my man.
Absolutely. I'm looking to make a pit stop in LA and go podcast hungry.
You absolutely should.
April or May, around there, yeah.
Okay, and please, anytime you want to call in after you break a big scoop, we'd love to talk to you. You kick ass, man. Thank you so much for calling in. Really appreciate it.
No problem. Check the site out on Tuesday. I got something fun that fanboys are going to dig, and then a week after that or so, I'm going to drop something even bigger.
All right, so you can follow him on Twitter.
Thanks for having me on.
Of course. Follow him at Twitter at El Mayimbe, ELMAYIMBE, as well as Latino Review, the great El Mayimbe. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Somebody's got a lot of new Twitter followers, I mean, everybody wants to know what's on the tip of this guy's tongue because it could be the next big factoid about this movie.
Did you pick Nate Parker because of Red Tails?
That was one of the reasons, because if you can make the dialogue in Red Tails charismatic and charming, then you can work wonders, my friend.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was so good in Arbitrage, and he's just one of these young actors that Tiffany and I like. We're not, we just you draft young and you see who's going to rise up in the ranks of Hollywood by the time this movie actually gets cast.
I really want to see Sam Witwer in it.
It'd be interesting. I mean, he does so many voices. He was great in the video games, but. Talking about Red Tails and shitty movies, let's kind of move into what we wanted to bring Fred on to talk about, and that is the 2013 movie season thus far has been shitty.
Yeah,
stonks.
In need of 2000 flushes blue.
I mean, look, yes, January normally is a toilet bowl season.
We were prepared for it. We're not just complaining because all these bad movies. We were prepared for it, and we still were overwhelmed by the smell thus far.
It's really bad. And there's last year at least you got The Gray and a couple other things here and there. This has just been one thing after another. It just, like I said to my wife the other night, I was leaving, I'm going, this right now feels like work.
And it's been disappointments, too. Not only artistic disappointments like Die Hard 5, but box office disappointments like The Last Stand, a Schwarzenegger movie, or The Bullet to the Head, a Stallone movie.
Which we'll talk to Ethan Irwin, the producer, in the second half.
Well, I don't think it's a surprise that Bullet to the Head did badly. That movie was on the shelf for a while. It was a surprise that The Last Stand did poorly because it seemed like a very smart, calculated way to come back on paper, and I guess it didn't connect.
Yeah, the reason I think that one, too, and I agree with that, I just think one of the reasons that didn't connect was because, when Stallone came back after his big hiatus and we came back with Rambo. He came back with Rocky and Rambo.
His characters.
He's his characters. Schwarzenegger didn't. He just came straight off the being the governor and banging his maid to straight to this. And it's
a little like Poppins and Expendables.
What's that? To who?
Like Poppins.
Yeah, he popped into the Expendables, his first.
And that was smart too.
Mary Poppins was in the Expendables.
I'll come in and do a cameo.
Let them know that you're going to be doing movies
and then do his own comeback. And Yeah, if he came back in Terminator 5, we'd probably all be making fun of him for doing Terminator 5, but it seems like that might be the only way for him to get any attention.
Yeah, I thought The Last Stand was the right play, and when I woke up, when I roused myself from my hangover that Sunday morning and saw it made $6 million opening weekend, that is just, it's an embarrassment. It's like when Jordan was with the Wizards, and you're like, dude, you're dragging your lifetime averages down, okay?
I think it's a sign you can't take 10 years off.
No, it's true, and well, one of the things because we're going to have Ethan on, and one of the things we want to talk to him about is the fact that what does that say about the action genre right now? Because I mean, again, like you have.
Not only did Schwarzenegger's movie not do well, Stallone's movie didn't do well, Jason Statham movie did not do well, and Die Hard underperformed at $25 million opening weekend.
So what is that? And that's what that's just, I guess, I want to get Ethan's.
You got me all revved up. I was ready to go on a tirade.
We're going to talk about the stinky movies, but I want to talk to Schmoville real quick. Hey, you're in Schmoville. Who do we got? Nice.
I tell you what, you got a tough act to follow after that last phone call we took. So,
hey, you're in Schmoville. Who do we got?
Hey guys, I got Matt Brown.
Hey Matt, what's up, dude? So what do you got, man?
I actually do have something very interesting, I think, about the action genre, but I think we need to take a moment of silence for the death of Die Hard.
Yeah, and Matt Brown saying that, Matt Brown is a diehard fan, so you have, yeah, it's true, man. Again, please, Matt, try to call back a little later, too, when we're talking about, because we're going to definitely get into more Die Hard stuff, too, because I want to get into the fact, thanks, Matt, thinking about the Die Hard franchise just being a stink pile. What's been good so far, those movies that I've liked so far this season, I liked Side Effects.
You can count on one nub. You know?
Yeah, Side Effects I enjoyed, and I think Fred might disagree with me here, but I enjoyed Snitch.
Snitch was cool. I didn't like Side Effects that much, but Warm Bodies was okay. I liked The Last Stand for what it was.
Yeah.
But there's just been nothing where you come out of the movie cheering like, all right, the talking pictures are back.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree.
But I'm totally on board with Fred's earlier point, though, about Die Hard. It's like it doesn't matter how many bad movies you make. All it takes is one to turn that baby around.
I mean, the other thing is we knew this Die Hard was looking grim from the beginning. It seemed sort of rushed together, the way they attached a director that was just, oh, well, here's a guy who's in the Fox stable. And maybe he made a good pitch. It seemed like, okay, now it's time to do another one. It didn't seem like anyone was really inspired you. Oh, now we've got a good Die Hard story.
Yeah.
I feel like that's why it was such a phone-in for Bruce Willis, too. It wasn't like he didn't seem excited about it. It was just like,
well, speaking about phone-ins and not being excited, got breaking news here. Megan Fox was cast as April O'Neil in Michael Bay's Ninja Turtles.
Wow.
They're going to work together again?
Yeah, they patched things up.
Oh.
Did she have to wash another car in a bikini?
Okay.
That is horrendous news.
We're going to take
Way to go, Michael Bay. You just do the same shit you do sticking on. He's an idiot.
We're going to take.
You want to get rid of Michael Bay?
Okay,
He's
listen.
such a schmuck.
Megan Fox.
You did a lot of paint chips when you were a kid?
Yes, he did.
Go ahead. Have your moment.
But it's just like it's like the same thing. You hear the guy, he talks about how they're fucking aliens. They're not aliens, dickwad. And then he puts Megan Fox, who honestly, Macuga's drunk sock could act better than her. I mean, it's so stupid.
If you guys want to see what the Muppet judges are like on the porch of Cracker Barrel, here, Christian, you and Macuga just have a nice little chat with each other real quick.
Why are you putting her in there? There's no reason to put her in there. You put her in The Last Stand 2. She'd be better in there. She'd be one of the cars.
Listen, I can't stand Megan Fox.
Thumbs?
Yeah, she's got those weird thumbs. She's got a tattoo of Brian Austin Green.
Thumbs.
I'd rather her.
The rest of her body is pretty sweet.
But it's not her fault, though. You take the job if you're her. But who wakes up and goes, oh, yeah, that's April O'Neil?
All right, can I make a quick point here? Is that April O'Neil has been played in the past by Judith Hogue and Paige Turco. The fact that I know that, a little weird about Mark Ellis, but I know that because I grew up with the Ninja Turtles, okay? It's not exactly hard footsteps to follow in. Just having Megan Fox be this wily news reporter, I think that could be a stretch. But you never know. Look, you're not going to book Jessica Chastain for the role of April O'Neil, okay?
Maybe Bryce Dallas Howard.
Like a
idiocy.
dirty sexy
An idiocy.
to it.
Idiocy.
It's not like I didn't think April O'Neil was like
kind
of skanky.
The Turtles are all going to want to sleep
the
with
meanest thing I've ever said on the podcast.
You didn't think that April O'Neil was skanky?
No.
She's sleeping with 4 turtles in a sewer.
No,
it doesn't get more skankier than that.
No, she wants to, but
she's
I
more
think,
like Lois Lane to me.
She banged Raphael when he was passed out.
Megan Fox.
How much are they gonna? How much you want to bet? There's a slow motion shot of her walking around and all the turtles are like going, "Oh my God, human tang."
You know what's really disappointing about all this news is the fact that Michael Bay is still doing Ninja Turtles. I thought maybe after that speech he gave.
This is the first I've heard of that Ninja Turtles movie in at least a year.
Since the Alien stuff came out, right?
It's still happening. Okay.
I mean, maybe we'll get some more fun letters back and forth to each other.
But hey, unfranchise Fred, make this Ninja Turtles movie and then make another one.
We have a new character in Schmoeville, Franchise Fred. I am a fan of Franchise Fred. That's alliteration, kids.
Yeah. All right. So here's what we do. Fred, are you familiar with our Tweet a Celebrity segment?
I am now.
Okay, good. So Johnny Ice.
We live in a world where every random thought counts, and even powerful people have a Twitter account. It's time to tweet a celebrity.
The great awkwardtunity thing.
Yes.
So Tweet a Celebrity. If you guys don't know what it is out there, if you're first-time listeners, here's how it works. Everybody in studio writes down a celebrity, a Twitter handle. We throw it in a dirty hat by Josh the Intern or Shoesy Pants.
Macuga's drunk sock, if you will.
Macuga's drunk sock. And which should, Leanne, if you're out there, we want a poster for Macuga's drunk sock. Now, we in a hat, we pick out the name, a tweet a celebrity, and then once we pick the name, Schmoeville will tweet the hell out of this person and tell them to come on and be a guest of the Schmoes Know
It's
podcast.
a Twitter bomb of happiness. Not there to destroy things, but to build up.
Get up, you lazy asshole. Shoesy Pants is on the other side, dangling the thing. You're like the one guy, you always want to be on camera, and the one time I'm asking you to be on camera.
This mailroom kid.
When did we get it upgraded to this, like, random bag instead of hat?
Yeah, it's a bag of jewels.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me that complained. That's not on my rider.
Shoesy waving at me like I'm be firing down a waiter to give champagne to someone at a nightclub.
Is that a bag of Magic the Gathering life counters?
Oh, look at this. Great tweet here.
Thank you.
So this is Jason Momoa. Whoever put that down there. Beautiful.
Guys, I think I finally won Tweet
All right, so at JMOMOA official, tweet him and let him know he's got to be a guest on the Schmoes Know podcast just so Tiffany can get her fix.
Hey, you know what? After that axe fight with Stallone and bullet to the head, I would love to have Jason Momoa on the show.
Me too. Okay,
I think
guys.
they should be building him up to be the next action guy.
He really should.
Great point. He was the best part of bullet to the head because you could understand what he was saying when he had lines.
Okay, but this is the funny part. Have you seen interviews with him at like Comic-Con or anything else where it's outside of character?
No, is he like Beast from X-Men?
He's like this like surfer Hawaiian.
Yeah,
like,
I can see that.
Not what you expect at all.
Did you
Especially
see-
when you get attached to him as Drogo when he's like, oh, I'm not even going to do my impersonation of Howie Tom.
No, but
But it's crazy.
Brilliant.
It's crazy. Because,
Thank you.
Are you complaining, Tiffany?
No, I would take him any way I could get him.
Look at you.
Oh, man.
Katie Sackhoff, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll kill him.
That's like that was like the most PG version of Katie ever.
That's true. Guys, now...
You haven't had enough whiskey yet.
Before we listen, I wanted to talk to Fred real quick because we are going. Fred, you're Crave. So Crave Online. Where else can they find you right now?
You can also find me on Fanhattan. Fanhattan just launched Fanhattan Voice, so check that out. Crave Online's a good place to see my work. Suicide Girls, I write for them.
Oh, great. And thank you.
All over the web.
Well, we really enjoyed having you on. Please
Thank
join
you.
us. Please join us again.
Sure.
And then here's the full name. It's Fanhattan Franchise Fred.
Yeah.
What?
Hey, well, you can do at Fred Topel, Topel, and let him know that you heard him on the Schmoes Know podcast, and we look to have you somewhere in the future.
Yeah, usually we get these clunker guests, man, but you knocked it out of the park.
No, he
well
knows
done.
his shit, too. He's just basically going, oh, don't
You just
I actually had
everyone
notes and
else was gonna
stuff
come on the
prepared.
podcast.
You didn't get to any of that.
What stuff did you have?
I had notes prepared.
He really does, guys.
Like movies upcoming
Hold
that we could have
on.
talked
I'm
about.
showing you the notebook.
not on this podcast. It's chaos.
Look at this. Some people
Well,
come prepared.
real quick, Fred, what do you think? Because we asked this in a recent video. What movie do you think is going to be the one that's going to turn around? It's going to reverse flush this toilet bowl of a movie
Oh, well,
year so
coming
far.
up most not most recently. The next one coming up, Oz the Great and Powerful. I trust Sam Raimi. And this summer, Fast and Furious 6.
Yes.
It should just be Furious 6, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Just Furious 6.
That's what it
Can
is
we
now.
get that started?
Yeah, it's true.
How bad of a
That's the Twitter hashtag, I'm sure.
what kind of a movie season are we looking at when the Shining Hope, the savior of the year, is Fast and Furious? It's a Paul Walker movie.
No, why not? I mean, it looks like they
I love
really
5, yeah.
got the tone of like just crazy stuff. They have a car driving through a plane as it's exploding. That's what Fast and Furious should be.
And that's what Fast and Furious Manhattan franchise Fred brings to the table.
Well,
That's 5 Fs.
All right, I love it. So
Mother Fs.
again, Franchise Fred he will forever be known as Franchise Fred on the Schmoes Know
sir.
podcast. And please join us again. And
I didn't
follow him.
invent that. I should give credit where it's due to Outlaw Vern.
Okay, Outlaw Vern.
He named me Franchise Fred.
I love it. Well, thank you
Yeah,
again,
Outlaw
Fred,
Vern
and
in
we
here.
look forward to having you on the show again. Really appreciate it. Thanks
Fred
a lot.
Topel, everybody. Yes, sir.
All right, guys, we'll be back. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with Ethan Irwin calling in. We're going to talk about action movies, Jason Momoa, the whole thing, and then we have a new segment we're going to debut as well.
Fun. Manhattan
Schmoes
franchise Fred.
Know
Fast,
podcast.
Furious.
See who can get this. Who knows this? Macuga, don't let me down. Schmoville, come on. Who can you beat? Who can beat him? What score is this? Come on, guys.
Is this the running on the beach one?
No. Come on. Don't give any hints,
Fire?
Johnny.
Chariots of Fire?
It's not Chariots of Fire.
No,
you
I'm saying to
dildo.
him.
It started kind of like it.
Come on. Schmoville.
Braveheart.
No. Schmoville, where are my action fans at? JTI, what song is this? Come on, you dickwad.
I like that you think throwing mean names at people will help.
Yes, it is Rambo. JTI knows this stuff, man. I knew it.
Wow.
Josh, come here. So, Josh knows this stuff. So, how did what? It was the Rambo franchise. So, what do you think about that score in general?
I think it's great. It's very recognizable. It took me a few seconds till you hear those few notes.
Yeah.
But I mean, they incorporated it in the last one, Rambo.
Yeah,
Where he went back
that's
home.
what this is from.
That's what it's from?
Yeah, it's
okay,
from Brian Tyler's score.
So
But
I
yeah.
love that because you didn't really hear as much in part 2 or 3. But the first one and the last one, they really drove it home.
It's good, sad
Josh the
walking
intern, ladies and
music.
gentlemen. Josh the intern. Thank you, Josh.
You know what was great about that? The newest Rambo? Everything. God, what a
so
film that.
good.
What a picture.
He takes that
What
gun
a
and
picture.
literally explodes a hillside.
Ugh.
Like destroys. It was awesome.
Inspirational piece of art right there.
You know who I could see doing that role? Ken Napzok.
Yeah, I
Just
could see
taking
this.
over the gun and lighting that place up.
All right, guys. So we are ready
Only
to.
if he can do it from the privacy of his bedroom.
We are ready to. We're going to bring in
and make a video for Schmoes Plus.
Ethan Irwin will be calling in here in a second. And Ethan Irwin, if you guys are new to the podcast,
Big time producer type.
yeah, he's one of the producers of. He's one of the producers of Sherlock Holmes, and he also did Bullet to the Head. He works for Joel Silver. He's a good friend of the show. He's been on various times, and he's really good at the game. Which we were going to have him in studio, but he got a cold. But he's a trooper. He's going to call in, and I want to talk to Ethan about like the action movie, and like we were talking about with Fred. Why is it? What's happening with the action movie? Like, I want to get his opinion of what he thinks.
Where's all the testosterone in America
Does
gone?
anybody care?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, again, it's like you look at the movies that are happening, like that are. Hold on, I think this is Ethan right now.
That are doing well.
Yeah.
And it's
We
a
were
little tough
talking
to
about
swallow.
Ethan, is that you, my friend?
Oh,
Hey, what's up, man? Ethan Irwin, how are you, sir?
Hello.
I'm well. How are you?
Good to have you, my friend. So I don't know. Have you been listening to the show? You can be honest.
I've never ever listened to it ever, even my shows.
Okay, good. Even the one you're on. All right. So we've been talking. We talked a little bit about the action movie, like what's been going on. Like we talked about The Last Stand, Bullet to the Head, and you know, and you have the Die Hard movies, and they have, and even Jason Statham's movie have not performed the way one might think they would have. And I wanted to get your opinion on why you think that is right now.
Well, I think it's there's maybe a feeling of having seen it before. You know, I think the thing about Expendables that people liked was just, you know, the novelty of being able to see all those guys together. Whereas, you know, when you put them separately, they feel very familiar, and you know, there's 30 movies that are already, you know, on DVD and on Netflix that you can watch and get that exact experience. You know, it's interesting with Die Hard. I feel like I know they wrote that it underperformed, but I feel like that movie did phenomenally better than it kind of deserved to do. You know, and
You mean $0 better than $0? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, once you watch the movie, the fact that people weren't running up into the aisles.
Yeah, if that movie had been just a Bruce Willis vehicle called, Action Russia Man.
Yeah.
Like, you would have gotten a third of the money that it made.
Yeah, now
I think just the fact that it's Die Hard, and there's that recognition and kind of nostalgia for it.
There's the name brand, It's like if they put marshmallows in cornflakes. It's still called cornflakes. You're going to buy it, but it's going to taste like crap. Ethan, I want to get into your sickness. This wouldn't have anything to do with the birthday party I saw you going crazy at a couple weeks ago. Now, is that why you're under the weather?
It may well be. No, I'm just trying to get better for the Oscars. That's my big thing. I have a party that we go to that I can't. It rhymes with Manatee Mare. But
wow!
I can't say the name of it, but they're themed beverages, so I'm very excited.
Well, here's a question for you, and we just got a tweet in from eman683122 who's asking. What he says is he thinks the reason they're not working is because they're bringing back too many of the classic stars and they need new blood. I happen to agree with some of that, and again, like one of the things, in regards to your film Bullet to the Head, I thought Jason Momoa. And I remember when you were telling us about this when you guys first put him in there, and then Conan had come out and it was horrendous, and we're like, I don't know.
That's right. We were non-believers. Then we saw the axe
He's
fight.
the best thing in the whole movie.
Woo! It's great.
Now this guy, and again, him being cast as Dax the Destroyer. What's his Dax the Destroyer? Is that so he's being cast now. Did you guys know when you were watching him on set? Did you say this guy is the guy now?
Yeah. No. I mean, having seen him in Game of Thrones. And been really impressed with his work there, and also his kind of stellar turn he did on Baywatch Hawaii. We were really into that.
Did you watch The North Shore?
He's really great. I think he can be.
Well, wait. Ethan, when you guys were on set, and then Conan came out, did you watch Dailies of Conan and go, oh shit, maybe we need to recast?
No, because we knew that Conan was not his kind of thing.
Yeah.
He needs something where he can be very charismatic. The thing that was so great about him, as the villain in Bullet to the Head, is he gets to have so much fun with it. And I think if you get more roles like that, kind of like what The Rock has, I think he could be a big star.
Yeah, it seems to be that an action star has a shelf life, and I think maybe Jason Statham this year hit that direct-to-video thing that Van Damme and Seagal hit in like the mid to late 90s, where people just don't want to see the same guy anymore. So it could be Momoa. Do you think that The Rock is going to have a career like that, where because Snitch comes out this weekend, and then he's got G.I. Joe Retaliation?
It's like 3 movies in a row, and I see the previews, and I'm like, wait, is that the same? No, different. It's different.
Snitch is a way different movie.
That would be incredible.
Wait, say that again, Ethan?
Perhaps I would love to see a supercut, but that is like all those movies combined.
Right. Well, the funny thing is, Mark and I talked about this in our Snitch review. Is that when you look, Ethan, have you seen Snitch yet?
I have not seen it, but I've read some good reviews of it, and I've not watched yours because why would I?
I understand. But
showing some love.
He's not exactly a franchise Fred, being nice with us.
The thing is though, is that when you see that trailer and you think it's just the same generic Rock movie, it's not. This movie actually has character. It has what these action movies so far this year have not. It has action. It has a story. It has character development. A lot of these action movies have not have a
dramatic acting. And Barry Pepper.
Barry Pepper, he is whittling away that guy.
He spices every film.
If you work with him, please give him a sandwich.
Barry Pepper is great in Snitch. He looks like Billy Gibbons, like after he caught some bad disease, but he's still the guy knocks it out of the park.
Barry Pepper, you can find him in aisle 14 of the Ralphs down here.
Rocket Ralphs. Yeah. Now,
can I just for a second bring it back to Bullet to the Head?
Yeah.
I do think Stallone. I think people may have been turned off by the advertising. I don't know what, but I think Stallone is actually in really good form in the film. I think he's a lot of fun in it, and the response, the actual audience response from those who've seen it is very positive. Like, the test scores were really positive. So it's going to do well for us because he's a big star there.
Yeah.
That's why they keep making all of these movies.
I enjoy
these guys are huge.
I love the movies, and when I saw The Last Stand, I'm like, sweet, Schwarzenegger's back. And I felt the same way with Bullet to the Head, even though Stallone never left, but it just worries me that maybe the only way we get these guys in a movie that is, box office bonanza is like an Expendables where you have to get 19 of them in an airplane together.
Well, I want to get Schmoeville tweet in here. I want to get everyone's everyone's opinion here. What do you think? Why is it that the action genre right now is not doing as well as you think? At Schmoes Know, Facebook.com/Schmoes Know.
You can hear the despondence in our voice. Like, why?
I want to know.
That's I feel kind of like it's, like the Avengers, everyone got excited because it's bringing these awesome characters together. And we had the solos. And now I feel like Expendables came out and it was bringing everybody together. And then all of a sudden everyone's like, let's do solo ones with all of them again.
Yeah.
Listen, that's a great point that Smith brings up, though, because let me spin that forward to Ethan for a minute. Is it back in the 90s when you had the 80s and 90s when you had Van Damme and Schwarzenegger and Stallone and all these guys, Seagal, you didn't have this incredible run of comic book movies because you didn't really have the effects or anything to make those yet. Now that you have all these great Iron Man and these actual superhero movies, do you think that is that kind of taking a dollar away from just the normal action films?
I mean, that is. I mean, I think a big part of it too is that when you live in a world where yes, there's Avengers and Avatar and this spectacle that before you could not achieve. That it's hard to compete with something like that. You need to do something that. Again, with Bullet to the Head and with Last Stand, that I think we and the makers of that film felt that it would be something nostalgic. It would get people in the same way the Expendables did and feel special. But it's just so hard to compete with these big movies, Snow White and Huntsman, and all these enormous pictures that are out there.
Now Ethan, this is the point I was going to make up. I was going to ask you about, and then we just got a tweet here from Mr. MLEKODAY, who says maybe it's just the wrong time in America with the shootings and everything going on. That's interesting. Is that like with all the violence going on, outside, do people maybe, again, it was like when Star Wars popped in the 70s is because people were sick of seeing the downtrodden movies and all the stuff that was going on there. So it was like this new type of, so maybe again, that's why people are getting excited about Star Wars again and all these fantasy movies. Maybe they don't want to see all this violence. Do you have a take on that, Ethan?
I mean, I think that these movies, these giant fantasy movies, and are still, again, Avatar, Avengers, things like that, are still, incredibly violent. But they're just done, as you say, in a more palatable way. Yeah. And we do exist in this time where there is so much debate about violence and about the kind of the root cause of all of it. I think it can be scary. That said, I also think it's just a shifting model, in terms of distribution, where people don't necessarily, they're not as compelled to see something in the theater when they can watch it at home in like 3 or 4 months.
Ethan, I just want to get your take on Safe Haven. How many times did you cry during that? Because man, that movie really got to me.
That was like a 25 hanky. 20 for like crying and 4 for the other thing. It was really
Juliana
really
Huff is the other thing's name.
Is Safe Haven a movie that inspires violence?
Juliana Huff. She's the girl who was Josh Duhamel.
Rachel McAdams too. Hey Ethan, I got a question for you because Mark and I were talking about this. Why then, if people are scared and people aren't going to these movies or the action franchise isn't standing up, then why do the old movies still hold up? Like, why does the original Die Hard hold up? Why does a movie like Toy Soldiers hold up? Like, why does...
But does it hold... Well, wait. Does it hold up to a generation of, 16, 17-year-olds, or does it hold up to us in this room right now?
Well, we got younger fans. We got younger fans tweeting in.
Well, let's see what our guest has to say. Ethan? The floor is yours.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I would love to hear what you have to say also, please.
No, you really don't.
No, you don't.
I don't. Okay. No, I was simply going to say, one doesn't need to kind of divorce themselves from that nostalgia because, Die Hard does hold up. In fact, I remember when I went to school, I went to kind of an artier school, but I loved Die Hard, and they put it up for an editing class, and everybody was like, oh, why do we have to watch this? I want to watch Kurosawa, which is still good. But they're like, why do we have to watch Die Hard? And they were just wrapped. They were they couldn't take their eyes off screen. Right. Like in the scene where, spoiler alert, he hands-ons the gun, everyone was like gasping. It was incredible. So that movie
it's
is, I think, a rare one that really holds up. But
Sorry, Ethan. Go ahead. No, what I was going to say was that, and again, agreeing with Macuga's point here is the fact that I think that if you had a different director and writer on Die Hard 5 and Bruce Willis was not phoning it in and was actually playing John McClane, I think that movie could have done well, but it's also playing into the earlier point of it being a franchise and a recognizable character. So a brand new character, and again, I think that can be anything with new writing and whatever it is. It's just a matter of it's just like it's anything else. It's a good story and good writing.
Yes, and that was, I think, the issue for me, at least, with like Last Stand, where Last Stand, while fun, ultimately felt like it was kind of a copy of a copy.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, it's like when Die Hard came out, or Lethal Weapon came out, and everybody tried to make movies that were just like that. But the thing they forgot was each of those movies spends like the first 30 minutes just about the guys and just in their situation and making real human beings, and then thrusting them into this, insanity.
Right. All right. Well, Ethan, thank you for your opinion on that because you're right in the middle of the genre. You work for Joel Silver, who, of course, has made his living on movies like that. But now we have brought you in for a particular reason here. You are an executive at a big company, and we are going to debut a brand new segment on the show today.
I love it.
And we need Schmoville's help.
It's called MarkGoesOnMatch.com, where I will pick from one of the beauties online.
Mark, we scrapped that. We scrapped
what?
that. We don't need. No one cares about your love life anymore.
I made you a fake profile and it didn't get any hits. So.
It's old hat. So all right. So here.
Old hat? Yeah. Who says that?
I did.
Is that John Williams coming out?
It's old hat, kids. Excuse me while I crawl off and die. All right, so guys, here's what we're gonna do here. We need Schmoville's help. We need Ethan's help here. Mm-hmm. This is a new segment called "What's the Pitch?"
So you want to make it in the pictures, kid? You want to be a Hollywood big shot? Well, here's what you gotta do. You come in my office, you pitch me a story, you sell me a star, you put it all together, and you just might get a green light, which means you've got go picture.
Okay, so what?
Really good.
So
here, do that again.
I love that.
Here's what this segment's all about. We definitely need Schmoville's help here on Facebook and on Twitter. What we're gonna do is when we do this segment, one of the Schmoville crew is gonna come in and pitch a movie idea. And they're going to have characters, who they want, director, the story, and we can just like like any other of these American Idols, whatever. If this thing sucks in the middle of it, we can cut them off. If we like it, we let them keep going.
It's nice that we have Ethan in
right.
as the guest for the very first debut of this because he's actually a guy that can kind of give the green light. You may actually have a movie get made at the end of tonight.
Get made. So
that's what I'm hoping, right?
Well, so we're going to bring in for those you guys know, we have Mark Reilly, aka Facty McFacterson, and Mark Reilly is a very good writer, and we've actually Ethan and I have worked with Reilly in the past before.
That's right.
So now this is going to be a pitch.
So this is a slam dunk then. I mean,
we don't know.
There's no way he can
There's no slam dunks in Hollywood.
He's not just pitching to Ethan. He's pitching to Schmoville. So Schmoville, after we're all going to vote on it, Schmoville has to say pass or green light. And we'll know, and then at the very end of it, we'll know if Reilly has a movie or not.
So they write in pass. Why don't we just stick with the traffic team and say green light, red light?
Nah, pass.
Okay, pass.
We got to stick to Hollywood standards.
Yeah,
pass or green light.
Pass. All right. So here we go. So do you want to write? You don't want us to say what the movie's about yet. You want to do it, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's his movie.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Just let him pitch it, Christian.
All right,
I mean, you're going to know right away.
You got 5 minutes. Make it good.
All right, so exactly.
Wait, I missed that. What was that, Ethan?
Ethan said you have 5 minutes, make it good.
5 minutes, perfect.
All right,
that's all I need.
All right, so everyone's gonna be quiet except Reilly. Reilly has the floor. Schmoville, we need your opinion on Facebook and on Twitter. Once this is all over, Reilly, the floor is yours.
Ethan, try not to fall asleep.
All right, folks. Schmoville, thanks for having me. With news that Gremlins might be headed back to the big screen, either with a new sequel or possibly the dreaded reboot, no one has really offered any ideas of what we might expect with the Gremlins 3. More so, will it be a reboot of the first movie, try to capitalize on the brand while creating a whole new mythology? Confusion is spreading. Is it going to be made with or without Joe Dante, the original director? I love it over there, folks. Will it be CGI, practical effects? What's the deal, folks? I say, we don't need a Gremlins 3. Fuck the reboot. I give you Mogwai, Rise of the Gremlins. That's right, folks. What if there was a story about Gizmo and his adventures that date back years before the first movie? What if the outbreak of gremlins in the small town of Kingston Falls wasn't the first occurrence? What if that drunken speech given by Murray Futterman outside the bar on Christmas Eve, quote, the same gremlins that brought down the planes in the big one, what if it wasn't just a drunken ramble, rather a real event? And that's where we're going to pick up our movie, folks. This is Mogwai, Rise of the Gremlins. Yes, Schmoville, I'm proposing they do a prequel to the 1984 film and call it Mogwai, Rise of the Gremlins. Here's how it goes. The movie starts with the title card over black, 1955. We are flying somewhere over the continental United States. Picture is up.
The first major scene shows a military operation. A B-12 bomber is flying over the U.S., and gremlins are taking down the plane. Gremlins on the wings, in the cockpit. Gremlins fucking everywhere, folks. It's an exciting action scene that sets up a man in black fighting the gremlins, saving a small box with a strange creature inside, strapping a parachute to it, and sending it overboard right as the gremlins take the B-12 down, crashing it into smithereens. And it's here that we meet our hero, folks, 15-year-old teenage loner named Christopher Wright. He witnesses the downed B-12 and searches for survivors, ultimately finding a broken crate in the woods where he finds none other than Gizmo, our little mogwai from the first movie. But no sooner does he find Gizmo, the military is on site searching the wreckage, and Christopher can only assume that they are searching for Gizmo, so he takes off with Gizmo in tow. For this is a story of a boy and his dog, or in this case, a boy and his mogwai. How did Gizmo come to be? How does this loner kid, Christopher, learn the rules? 1, keep it away from bright lights, especially sunlight. Number 2, never get it wet. And number 3, most important, never feed them after midnight. For you see, Christopher, of course, doesn't know any of these rules and ends up breaking each and every one of them.
Oh God, there's another page, Ethan. Get ready.
All right, you got it. We got. All right, I think we're gonna cut you.
Are we stopping?
I think we're gonna cut you.
All right, not because of bad presentation, just because it's a time factor.
Now we got to go to the expert.
All right.
Tune us down.
I'm having lunch with Meryl Streep in 3 minutes.
Now, I want to wait. But we're gonna talk to our expert first, and then I'll read some tweets from everyone else.
All right.
So Ethan, do you have any questions?
There was a lot of action, so I gotta know.
You're done. Ethan,
I don't even know he had his full 5 minutes, but I think it's actually an interesting idea, sort of a Super 8 vibe to it. Here's my big issue. Two things. One, I feel like, can you set it in space or like in the hood, like they do with the Leprechaun sequels? I feel like that's stronger. That's a stronger way to go with it. And then also, I guess as they're going off and having adventures, does it become like a sex romp, or where does the story go? Where does it end? How does it tie into the other films?
Well, we know where Ethan's mind goes. It goes right to the hood with a sex romp.
Ethan, I can't answer that. I've been cut off, so I guess you'll have to read it.
No. You can answer any direct questions.
You can answer any questions. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Where did the story go? Well, Christopher finds mogwai.
5 words or less.
What's that?
In 5 words or less.
25 words or less.
Military fights gremlins.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's 3 words.
And now, how does it tie in an awesome, clever way to the end to the beginning of the first picture?
Okay, I got it.
A whole series of them that will proceed.
I got it right there for you. See, Christopher, our main character who has the mogwai or Gizmo, actually meets Mr. Wing, who is the Chinese grandfather from the first movie. And Mr. Wing is able to help him. And then what Christopher learns is that the man in black from the plane was actually Murray Futterman from the drunk from the first Gremlins, who was actually working as a CIA agent or some military personnel. And that's what led him into the speech outside that Kingston Falls bar that he said Gremlins took down the planes in World War II.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so Murray Futterman does make an appearance in this picture.
I love that.
All right, so Ethan, here's before I read any tweets now from Schmoeville. Mm-hmm. So Ethan, what out of hearing your answers being answered here by Reilly, is it a green light or is it a pass?
Honestly, I think it's a good idea. I think if I was in fact in control of the Gremlins' rights, I think that could be a green light.
It's a green light. He's got one green light.
One green light. All right, Josh Macuga.
Green light.
Green light.
Green light.
Josh Macuga. All right.
I like that.
No, not yet. Tiffany.
Say like a
pass or green light?
You're passing.
Pass.
Yeah.
All right, you're passing.
That's all right.
I wanted to give it like a yellow light, not like a hard hell no.
That's when they rush things into production.
Like a blinking green.
Yeah.
Mark Ellis?
Reilly looked nervous the first half of the pitch, but then when the executive had questions for him, man, did Mighty Casey come up to the plate. It's a green light.
Green light. Kenny?
I've never seen this Gremlins that you speak of, but I'd like to see how they got there. I'm going to go green light.
Green light. All right. Now, JTI.
4 green lights, 1 pass.
I'm going to say pass. I just want to tell you why. I think it's going a little too big. I think Gremlins I like better in a small setting. Sounds like you're going Die Hard 4 a little bit, a little bigger, better. I like it a little smaller.
Look
4
at the
to
kid.
2.
Appreciate that. You're fired.
Okay.
Shoesy Pants?
Green light that bitch.
Green light. All right, so here's how we're going to do this. I'll tell you my second. Schmoeville, I'm going to take 10 tweets right now.
Okay.
And with those 10 tweets, all you need to say is either pass, green light, tweet them in right now.
If you say red light, we'll know what you're doing.
Yeah, all right. So here we go. So at Alan Cumbus says green light after a rewrite. Okay.
After a rewrite.
Well, wait, fire the writer? And
that's
all right, so
that's
assuming
I'm the writer.
I think that's a
know.
pass, right?
Yeah.
So let's see. So here we go. So Andrew at Andy Zach says, take my money, green light.
Good.
Nice.
All right. So now we have, that's two. Okay. So we have at Eman683122, green light.
Nice.
At our buddy Mothman Jones, green light that motherfucker.
This scoreboard we got is hot.
Yeah. At Knight of Steel 87, pass.
Ooh.
Whoa, we're 2 to 3.
That's
2 to
right.
3.
Okay. At Jennifer Irene 3, a good idea, but I don't know if we need a Gremlins movie. Pass.
Ooh, all right.
Tied up. We're all tied up.
We don't need one. We deserve one.
Oh.
Thank you, Ethan Erwin. Yes.
All right. Okay.
By the way, I would totally just steal your idea and not pay you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine.
It's true. Okay.
This is only being taped.
Which is gonna be what happens when the movie comes
No, I know.
out.
I know. I'm already worried about it.
At Ross Clark, what the hell was that? But I say go for it. Green light.
All right. That's fair enough.
4 to 3.
At Spencer, the Dirty Spoons. Great fucking name. At Dirty Spoons, green light. Okay. So
5-3.
at our
Yeah.
what
I
was
don't
that?
have
Was
it.
that
If he gets 6 green lights, then
Okay.
he's won.
At our girl Leanne, dear Lord, no.
4 to 5. 4 to 5.
They're making Riley sweat.
At Canadian Pat 493, pass.
Sorry.
Okay, so it's tied at
We
5.
are split down the
game.
middle.
Okay.
So we got to do a 2
Back
by
to
2.
0.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
This is the next one's the
Next-
tiebreaker, right?
Well,
Well, if it's 1 to 1.
If it's the next one.
all right, then we do. Here it is. Just came in. It is from our buddy Matt Brown.
Okay, call
At
me Roy.
Call Me Roy. Gizmo deserves a better movie than Gremlins 2. It's a green light.
And that's how the pitches are made, folks.
Hold on, quiet.
You got go picture, kid.
Yeah, congratulations, Mark Reilly.
Hey, that's nice for the for the first segment. It's like
That's the
we're
first time you
learning here.
debuted it. Yeah, so look, when Shoesy Pants brings his movie, we can all pass it right off the bat.
There you go.
All right, guys. So, Ethan, thank you so much for joining us. As always, when you come back into the studio, we'll play the game. We're going to play it here. Maybe you can beat us by listening because we know how good you are at that. You're undefeated. But again, man, feel better, and thank you so much for calling in as always.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks again, and look forward to seeing you soon.
Thanks, bud. Later on.
Cool. Bye.
All right.
Hey, Ethan, can you call me when they're casting Gremlins 3? I want to play a mailboy.
All right. So now 9:30. It's 9:25. We're going to go to break here, and then when we get back, we have a new guest coming in. We have a guest that's coming in, and we want Schmoville to be very excited about this guest because we're going to talk about some upcoming movies that are coming out this week with this guest.
Okay.
We have some Oscar stuff. They're going to be very excited to meet this guest.
Wow, they know their stuff.
But tune in, guys. Again, at Schmoes Know, at Reilly Around, REILLY Around. Let him know how you liked his pitch or hated it. At Tiffany's tweets, at Josh Macuga, at Shoesy Pants, at Josh the Intern, at all these motherfuckers, at Collispan. Let's do it. See you in a second. This is one of my favorite scores, and a lot of people don't even know what this is.
Imagine there's no heaven.
Stop it! No one's really gonna know this from.
No.
Doesn't it sound like Lost? A little bit like Michael Giacchino.
Yeah.
A little bit.
It's from the video game. I've never even played the game, but it's Dead Island. And
Hey, how did you find this from like a commercial preview?
no, have you seen the trailer?
Yeah.
Oh, the Dead Island trailer it's one of the best video game trailers I've ever seen, and it and this music just sticks with you. You can get the score if you just go to YouTube and type in like Dead Island score.
I just have a weird question though. So
Yeah.
you watched the trailer, you got really excited about the music,
Yeah.
but you never went to play it.
No, it's the music. I like the music. It reminded me of Lost.
Oh, okay, so we can play video game music on here.
Yeah.
Well, there's a little game called Guitar Hero that has a lot of kick-ass tunes on it. I think we should play one of those.
All right.
That can be in your pitch for your movie.
The Guitar Hero movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. Done.
Now we're gonna have a guest. We're gonna have a guest come in a second here. But before we do that, I want to take a phone call from Schmoville. And if you don't know the number, it's 323-622-8623. You're in Schmoville. I have a question for whoever's calling in. What did you think of the What's the Pitch segment?
Hey, Christian, this is Blake. I contacted you on Facebook the other day. You might not know who this is, but I just wanted to say thank you because you wrote back, you commented back. And I just wanted to say thank you.
Oh, of course, man. Yeah, thank you for listening to the show and writing this, man. I really appreciate it very much. Thank you so much.
Fuck you, motherfucker.
Hey, stop it, Johnny. Johnny. That was Johnny Ice, Blake. Thank you very much for listening to the show. And have you listened to the whole show so far today?
I have. This is my first time calling in to a live show. I usually watch it coming home from school.
Oh, that's cool.
On Friday. This is my first time calling in.
Well, thank you, Blake.
Nice.
Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it, and keep on commenting. And
color, long time listener.
Very nice of you, man. Thanks a lot, Blake.
And I have one more thing.
Yeah.
One more thing. I just wanted to tell Mark that Frodo is also my favorite fellowship member.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Blake. That's
all right.
I love calls like that.
See?
So nice.
That's a vote in Ellis's corner.
Wait, why was Frodo was what?
Back when we were talking about our Lord of the Rings thing, we were talking about like who our favorite character in the and everybody went gaga over Aragorn. I'm like, hey, there's one
Frodo,
guy that's tasked with dropping the ring in the volcano,
right.
and that's the guy I'm backing Frodo. Me and Blake on the same page there.
I might have to like rethink mine after last or the other week with Samwise here.
Yeah.
He carries him.
Oh, did you get a little?
Look at you. You're
He carries him.
How'd that go, Christian?
Smitten. She's very
Because
smitten.
I wasn't in studio for that
You are
podcast,
smitten.
so I didn't get to see how Tiffy actually reacted to
Watch
Sean
Schmo
Astin.
Plus. By the way, which reminds me, guys, if you guys have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, Schmo Plus, Shoesy Pants, as much shit as I give him, he does a lot of videos during the breaks, and he gets all the backstage stuff, and he puts it up on Schmo Plus, which you should subscribe to because there's a lot of cool backstage stuff. If you're a fan of the show, you really enjoy it. So,
Shoesy and I are going to go out. We probably won't be able to get close to the action, but he and I are going to go out on Oscar Sunday before the show starts, and just see who we can talk to, interview, whatever. Just be weird with people out on
that'll be awesome. Looking
Between
forward to that.
Macuga and Shoesy Pants, I don't think it'll be that hard getting weird.
All right, well, we're gonna take.
I like that. That's the pitch too. We're just gonna get weird.
All right, here's my pitch. Me, Shoesy, weird.
We'll do that. We'll take All right, so we're gonna do. We're gonna take one more call from Schmoville, and then we have our guest that's gonna come in. Then we're gonna play the game. But hey, you're in Schmoville. Who do we got?
This is Bustos.
Hey man, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. I just want to say I just watched you guys' You Reviewers Award on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I want to say great job. I watched you guys for the past 3 years.
Thank you so much. I'm glad. You know.
And,
sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I just want to say that I kind of agree with some of the points you made. That I think the action movies these couple past years have kind of been the same thing over and over again. So that I think that's why they're kind of dying these days.
Right. I agree with you.
And it's unfortunate, too.
Thank you for the call, man.
Thanks
Appreciate
for the call.
Right.
I agree with him. You know, and Mark and I talk about it. We talk about it all the time. I love action movies, without a doubt. If I see Die Hard, if I see Rambo, even something like The Fugitive or anything like that, like a well thought out movie with action, intelligent dialogue, a great story.
Yeah.
It could be a standalone. Do you know what I mean? Again, like I go back to
you got to react to it. You
exactly.
got to, and it's emotionally
I just don't
involved.
want like a really involved fight with chains and axes and like whatever. Give me
Right. But you also need some fresh blood. And as much as I hate to admit it, like nobody clings to the past like a Mark Ellis, okay?
Right.
But it's just like how much I love Bo Jackson. If you put him on a football field today, he ain't gaining a lot of yards.
Right.
I mean, you get a couple first downs, but he's not going to score a touchdown. So you need there's a shelf life with these action heroes. Unfortunately,
true. All right, so we have our guest. Our guest is here, JTI. Is our guest? Oh, your tape.
Who the hell's JTI?
Josh the intern.
It's a venereal disease.
It sounds like a urinary tract infection.
Right,
I don't even want that to be my.
It's a lot easier than saying, "Hey, Josh, what we need?" No, not Macuga, JTI. All right, so our guest is here.
This?
Our guest is here. Do we have the cue?
I don't know what's happening.
Wait, we're waiting for the cue.
Come on over here.
Can Mrs. Reilly, can you just see? Here. Shh. That's it.
Who? Oh, I don't remember that. I met her once on a train. Who? Where is this movie playing again? I forget what he looks like. Who? I didn't see that movie. I once remember seeing a movie on a train. I once remember seeing a movie on a plane. I still don't like that movie. Who? That one was way too long. One time I had to go to the bathroom during the movie and I just didn't go back. When will this movie end?
How is this?
I hate reboots.
I don't know what's happening in my
Hello?
ears
Sitting
right
next to
now.
you, Tiff.
I want to introduce everybody now.
Okay.
You guys just heard our buddy Mark Reilly. He pitched a whole big movie thing. He did very well.
He did a good job.
We liked
Is this
it.
his girlfriend?
This is his mother.
What?
His mother is here. This is Mrs.
I'm
Reilly.
visiting from Tustin.
Oh well, Mrs. Reilly, I wanted to be able to I want to be able to interview you and say, because we have a lot of things that are happening right now.
Good. Where?
No, right here on this podcast.
Oh, good. I'm so glad I came to visit my family.
Well, no, your family actually isn't here right now.
Well, he's getting me some water with some lime.
Okay. Well, when he gets back, we want to talk to you. Please don't laugh at our guest. We want to talk.
She just looks so much like her son. It's shocking.
No, it's really good. If you have any interest, by the way, my son is divorced.
Well, that's
so,
no. He does not. He doesn't like to talk about that on the podcast.
Oh, he doesn't.
No, he does not like to talk about it.
Well, he should get over that.
All right, I know he should. But listen,
I mean, the divorce has been final for a year.
Stop it. There's no personal baggage on this show. Now, listen. So we wanted to talk to you about some movies that are coming out.
Oh, good. I like movies.
I know. I heard you like movies. What's your favorite movie so far, Mrs. Reilly, of 2013?
2013. Oh, my favorite movie is The Notebook.
Well, that actually did not come out in 2013.
Yeah, but I saw it yesterday, so that's 2013.
Well,
right?
I guess
sound logic to me. I saw Tango and Cash, best movie I've seen this year so far.
That's a good movie too. I really like Burt Reynolds.
Oh, he wasn't in. That was Kurt Russell and Sylvester Stallone are in Tango and
I'm
Cash.
not familiar with those actors.
All right, so
they're newer on the block.
Mr. Reilly, let's talk about the Oscars. What's your favorite movie so far that you've seen so far at the Oscars?
Django Unchained.
Really? Why Django Unchained? What was it about Django that really set it apart from everything else?
Well, I just really like that Quentin Tarantino, and he just is such a good boy.
Did you see the movie?
No.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Okay.
Mark, would you like to ask any questions?
Well, there's a very kind of controversial host for the Oscars this year. Do you think the host is going to do a good job?
Well, I hope George Burns does really well this year.
No, George Burns is not doing the show this year.
It's Seth MacFarlane. He does the cartoon The Family Guy.
I've never seen it. Can you please tell me more about this?
Well, Seth MacFarlane, actually, I'm very excited about Seth MacFarlane doing this because I think that he's going to bring kind of what Tina Fey and Amy Poehler did, like to that more just kind of more fun.
It's going to be a musical kind of energy. Do you like musicals, Miss Reilly?
I love musicals. Guys and Dolls is by far the greatest musical of all time.
Wow.
Well, then you might really like his singing.
Yeah.
Who's singing? Marlon Brando? Is he hosting?
No, he's dead, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I better tell my mother.
Mrs. Reilly.
Your mother.
Yeah. Good Lord. Mrs. Reilly, we wanted to thank you for stopping by.
Oh, thank you. No, where's my son, by the way?
Well, would you go find him for us, please? And
Sure.
tell him
Do
to
I
come back
talk into this microphone or do I talk into this pretty ladies?
Look at you. I like.
Am I getting hit on by his mom?
I don't know. I don't know.
Of course not. I'm not a lesbian.
I thank you, Norman Bates, everybody. Norman Bates. Very nice to see you again, Mrs. Reilly.
Sure.
And
Are we
please,
talking more Oscars next week, or
possibly,
is it just going to be tonight?
Maybe you can come by on Sunday and talk to us.
Make sure you wear your fancy dress.
Well, right. I think I need to get that out of the cleaners then.
All right, Mrs. Reilly, everybody. Mrs.
I go
Reilly.
over here, or where do I go? Where's my son?
All right, now
that
was Mrs. Reilly.
Mrs. Reilly's having some trouble with the headphones.
Yeah, very nice. Okay, so
you're just inviting members of the podcast moms to the studio.
Look, it's
my
working.
mom
It's
was
working.
here today, and you didn't let me bring her.
My mom visits LA. What the hell? We can't.
Because here's the reason why. We have a tweet. Oh, come on, that is one hot cougar. We had a tweet come in.
That's just because you thought it was like girl on girl action. That's why you said a cougar.
So strange, but I can't stop laughing.
Oh,
this
hey,
is so much
Riley,
fun.
your mom was
your mom was just here.
No. I know. I need to take her home, so I'm going to be heading out. Is that cool? She's
you got to play the game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I just put her in the back.
Yeah,
so
all right, so
she's got some tea.
All right. So
did you roll the windows down?
Like in the trunk? Okay. In the back of what?
All right. So here we go. Now if you guys. So Mrs. Reilly is out of here, and we are going to play the game.
Can I play?
Time to play the game!
I love it. Okay, the game. So if you guys out there do not know what the game is, did you have a question about the game?
No. I was wondering, since I don't get a voice, can I play on Team Ellis?
Can you play on Team Ellis? It's up to the captain of the team.
Well, yeah, but I don't want to get a bunch of shit if I win because I had an extra teammate. I think that I'm going to win on our own merit, and I have confidence in our squad.
Okay.
I made a trade for Macuga today, right at the deadline.
like that.
All right, we're going to play the game here. So for anyone out there who's listening for the first time, the way this works is we play, and you guys can play as well out there in Schmoville. You tweet in, Facebook. We play a clip.
Get the home version.
Yeah, we play clips of a movie, and the way your buzzer,
yeah.
your name is your buzzer. So if you hear it, if you know it, you shout out your name, pick first one to three.
First one to three wins to avoid confusion. The team names are Christian, Tiffany, Reilly, and Ellis.
All right, so Schmoville, who do you
You're on
think?
Team Ellis, Macuga.
At Schmoes Know, at Tiffany's tweets, at Reilly Around, Josh Macuga, who do you think will win the game? Tweet in at Schmoes Know right now and let us know what you think, and the game will start. Johnny Ice.
But someday, somewhere, someone may find out the damn truth.
Mark. JFK, Kevin Costner, crushing it. Back and to the left. Back and to the left.
Can
Take it
I,
easy,
do
Kramer.
I get
That's
any
great.
points if I know the actor?
Sure. You get all the little cinnamon rolls you want.
I really like the Ellis. Good job there.
Thank you. I'm a big fan of that movie.
Yeah.
All right.
Unless you came here to wipe my ass, I believe we're through. Come on, don't pull that good cop, bad cop crap. I practically invented it. So what if some homo actor is dead, huh?
Christian.
Boys, girls-
Balls.
Mark. Milk.
Wow. Got nothing.
10 of them get off the bus to L.A. every day.
Stupid.
I don't know how.
This went down at my apartment 2 nights ago.
Nobody knows, right?
No.
Can I just say it? It's L.A. Confidential.
Oh,
Stupid ass.
Man, I think Mrs. Riley would have gotten that.
Oh,
No, she wouldn't.
she's awful. God.
Is that Guys and Dolls?
I heard she's on the roof somewhere. You might want to get her.
I don't know.
First person to three.
Oh man, this might be a long game.
Yeah.
Operator.
This is Janice, the operator. Who's this?
Okay, this is Barry Egan. You talked to me? Do you remember?
No,
You called me up.
sweetheart, I don't remember you.
Cut the crap, lady. You said your name was Georgia. You said our conversation was confidential, and I trusted you. And then you called me. You asked me for money. Am I right? Am I right? Get your supervisor on the phone.
Mark.
Reilly.
I'm going to go with Marathon Man.
No.
Riley. Punch Drunk Love.
Barry Egan.
You said Barry Egan, and I'm like,
that
I
was
should
right.
know that.
All right, 1-1.
Never seen the picture.
This man has no identity, not in the United States or Great Britain. He does not exist. Understand?
Christian, The
I know
Rock.
one thing.
Should have been mine. Good call.
Written rule is a new guy's life isn't worth as much because he hasn't put his time in yet. And they
Christian.
say if you're
Platoon.
Did it, how many do you have now?
2.
2.
Can you prove any of this?
Tiffany. Aaron Brockovich. It sounded like Julia Roberts.
All right.
We have some lovely parting gifts.
See, it's an unprovable one. If you can prove it, I mean, they must have screwed up somewhere along the line, and then if that's the case, well, they. Yeah.
They who?
They.
Alice. Conspiracy theory.
Wow. 2-2.
You. I knew it was that wacky Mel Gibson.
You don't know my name, do you?
Is it Stanford?
I should just kick your ass. How do you go to a party and you meet
Riley. Social Network.
Wow. Tied up. Tiffany, this big fat goose egg.
Guys, you know I'm bad at these
I know,
games.
that's why it's always fun to say. You got a 0.
So, Wayne. Alice. Is that Wayne's World?
Oh,
yeah! No, I caught that. Thank you. Team
Wait, the
Alice.
first thing is, hey, Wayne.
Wait, huh?
Oh.
I think it's the first one.
Yeah. Yeah, all right, good, nice. Okay, a little chink in the armor. I like it. All right.
Okay. Are we still in this?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
I hear you're putting on some kind
Alice.
of concert.
That's good. The people need to laugh. Oh, is that still the...
Yeah. Are we still on the mains?
No, we're passing
Why are
Wayne's
you
World,
fucking teasing me?
Still Wayne's World, right?
Yeah, and I got it again.
You want to get on the Brooklyn Queens Expressway?
Wow!
For BQE.
Wow, you know, geez, we don't know what that is. Shut up! Hey, shut up!
Christian? Stripes? 1941?
Alice, Goodfellas?
Let's just walk through this, okay? Does that sign say BQE?
Yeah.
Okay, so which way was the arrow pointing?
That was an hour ago, and that witch ain't stopped screaming the whole time. Yeah, she even had her baby screaming at us.
All right, let me try this.
I think it's time to shoot this horse.
Guys. Right.
No, I don't. Star Wars.
You're forever known as Star Wars. Quick change.
Oh,
Okay,
good.
Very
Yeah,
good. All right, last one.
You stopped with Roberto Clemente. Henry Aaron was the greatest right fielder of our generation.
Could he run like Clemente? Could he throw like Clemente?
Look, I'm going to say one thing to you, okay? 755 home runs. Goodbye.
Hey, Clemente was killed in a plane crash.
What, you going to blame that on Aaron?
No, I'm not blaming. I'm just saying.
Baseball.
Christian, City Slickers.
Oh, fuck you.
Nice.
I hate this game.
Yeah. I love this game. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I would like to make an announcement.
Yeah.
Team Ellis has officially given Josh Macuga a pink slip. We brought him in. It was a mistake, and I apologize to our fan base.
Yeah, well, the segment is actually brought to you by Movie Pass. Movie Pass, if you guys don't know, and for all you guys who love movies out there, you guys, it's such a great deal. It's like $30 for the month, and you can essentially see 30 movies in the month for $30. I mean, it doesn't work for 3D, but who gives a shit? You know, it's like for the
doesn't work for January and February either.
What do you mean?
No, it should. It should work, but
It does. I just bought my pass about a week ago, so it's good stuff.
It's great. If you got, again, if you just on the Toad Hop, ToadHopNetwork.com for the Schmoes. On the bottom there, you see the Movie Pass logo. Go there, and literally, it's such a good investment. It really is.
Yeah, because one day you may be on the Schmoes Know podcast playing the game and need to know the difference between Wayne's World and Wayne's World 2. And that one's going to bug me. Usually I can just let this stuff go after the podcast.
That might be,
that's a tough one.
I'd be pissed too.
You had it.
Yeah.
It's like you had the ball. It was
that was Jackie Smith in the end zone, Super Bowl 13.
Yeah, you fumbled.
It's okay. I just made like a pained face the entire game. I was just like,
yeah.
You got one,
now
right?
here's a question: who would win? Who would win in the game contest? Tiffany or Catherine? Oh my God, that'd be painful.
We'd be here a while.
Good
wait,
Lord.
didn't someone put their head down though? At least I stayed in it. I stayed in it.
You hung in there.
I was listening.
Hey,
I even thought I heard Julia Roberts.
Someone even made it. You did because it was conspiracy theory. So you had the right actress. You just missed the movie.
So maybe I get half a point.
Yeah.
All right, let's take some calls from Schmoville here. See what's happening in Schmoville. What do we got? Who's on the phone?
This is Max.
Hey, Max, what's up, man? Who do we got?
First of all, I just want to say congrats on another sweet You Reviewers Awards.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you very much, Max. What do you think of the suits, huh? Pretty nice.
Pretty snazzy. And going back to the action movies,
yeah.
Today, I think, honestly, the only really big action movie I can really think of recently that people like and is Taken. And Liam Neeson is like the only old action star that people go specifically to see.
Yeah, and that's a great point because the original Taken came out in January. It had good word of mouth, and that's what Die Hard 5 would have had, but it was such a bad movie.
It did warrant a sequel, so it's become a franchise, and I heard they actually have greenlit Part 3.
And I hope, and again, I'm with Franchise Fred. I hope that Taken 3 is good, unlike Taken 2, which was.
And I feel like for a lot of them, like even with Die Hard, it was like instead of making the story good and having one strong character, it's like let's just blow everything up and have all kinds of guns, do everything we possibly can.
Yeah.
And Taken, it's like, it's one guy and he's a badass and he has an amazing voice.
And then then the sequel comes out and his daughter apparently has pinpoint accuracy. She's Joe Montana with a grenade in her hand.
I mean, before she just hid under the bed.
It's just one of these things though with Taken again. It's like, talking about it's just they run it into the ground, and it's I wonder. Is Taken just because of that one movie that it hits and you should have left it alone, or can it be done again?
There's more stories to be told as long as you just
make it about him,
Maggie Grace, like what Tiffany said, leave Maggie Grace under the bed, leave Famke Janssen with the rich guy in the United States, let Liam Neeson and his buddies go kick some ass somewhere else.
Yeah, would it work better if it was just an action movie with Liam Neeson with the same character?
That's what I think they
better
done.
with maybe one of his CIA buddies was taken rather than his family.
Absolutely.
Taken, you see, that's a go picture.
Well, that's a go picture, folks.
Dude, thank you so much for the call and for the nice words. Really appreciate it.
Yep.
So, before we take another call from Schmoeville, he had brought up the Euroviewers Awards, and we haven't really spoken about the Euroviewers Awards as well. If you guys don't know what it is, Mark, myself, and our buddy Jeremy Johns, we started an award show for the YouTube movie reviewers 2 years ago, and this is the third year that we've actually done it now.
It's our Oscars. These are the best movies, the worst stink piles, everything in between, all the cool categories. We have some that are specific to you reviewers, like the I'm Shocked It Didn't Suck award.
Yeah.
By the way, that's a great
Isn't it great? Yeah, we
category.
have that. We have
because it's so every year you're like, wow, that one's really good.
The biggest stink pile and all this stuff. So it's a lot of fun. You can find part 1 on Jeremy Johns' channel on YouTube. Part 2 is on ours. Part 3 will be back up on Jeremy's tomorrow, and then part 4 will be on our channel on Saturday.
Yeah, and if you're wondering who the guy in the eye patch is in the beginning of the first one, that is our actual director, Mr. Josh Macuga, ladies and gentlemen. He was the director.
Stay hungry, stay foolish, folks.
That's right. All right, let's take a few more calls from Schmoeville. Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hi, this is Sam Blackburn again.
Hey, Sam, what's up?
I'm going back to the action movies and why they're doing it so bad. Like what everyone's been saying, they're just really. I think they're just getting generic now, and everyone with Taken.
We lost.
And I forgot what I was going to say. I'm sorry.
Don't worry, Sam. It's all right, Sam. No, but thank you so much for calling in. His point's right. I mean, like it's when you rehash the same shit.
Audiences are smart, man. When they smell the same crap, they're not going to pay to see it again.
Yeah. All right. Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey guys, you got Matt Brown again.
Matt, what's up?
Well, I was actually at an early screening of Bullet to the Head way back when with director Walter Hill, and I asked him about this very issue. And he said he talked about how action movies have taken such a drastic turn in the last 15 years or so.
Mm-hmm. So he figured go along with what everyone else is doing?
A hero with a goal, and he's going to do it. The very Homeric kind of thing. And now it's all about the comic book and the fantasy and the very larger than life. And just people, they need to see the big stuff. They want the symbol, not just the hero they can relate to.
Right.
Where you see some of these older movies, and he was very honest about the movie he was making. He knew that it wasn't a character-driven movie, and he said if he had said that, he'd be selling a false product to the audience, and he knows that this is what people want to see, just a fun action movie with a hero that they can get on board with.
Yeah, but it looks like he was wrong.
Audiences don't want to see that anymore.
Right. Yeah. No,
I'm telling you,
Matt, thank you for the great call.
Usually I have extensive notes before we do the podcast. Like I really do my research.
No, you
but
don't. Read Kenny's notes.
I came up with that point on the fly about how comic book movies are taking away some of the action dollar from the box office.
Right.
Tiffany sent me out.
Okay.
Thank you, Mrs.
Smith. That's a good point.
Before we have about 5 more minutes left. So before we get out of here, just a couple more things, guys. Again, if you haven't subscribed to us on Schmo Plus to find, Josh, the intern today, did a whole bunch of stuff shooting, and Shoesy Pants did a whole bunch of shooting. All of the backstage stuff will be on Schmo Plus. Make sure you subscribe, youtube.com, Schmo Plus. And Kenny actually has been doing this new thing, which is great. He does a little pre-show prep to where you see the inside workings of Kenny's prep before the show. It's pretty fun.
The guts. What goes into that delicious hot dog that is Kenny's production and news segment.
A couple cool cool things
where's
going
my
on.
shoe of whiskey?
Oh, that's right. You have our website, schmoesknow.com, where we have everybody here. Everybody in the room has an article that's really fun, minus Tiffany, because she doesn't care about us when she's not on the air. Josh Macuga. Josh Macuga does a Friday nudity thing, which it's a really funny read. It's about all the great moments in nudity. You should check it out. And Macuga is a funny dude. You should read his column. Shoesy Pants has great stuff. Josh, the intern, now is doing some stuff. Mark Reilly around. Kenny's got a lot of news and stuff too. Your power rankings, which is great.
And Christian, why don't I write on the website? Because I'm too busy doing stand-up on the road. Next week I'll be at the Nashville Zanies. Just go to zanies.com. February 28th through March 3rd, Ellis live stand-up in Nashville.
And speaking of next week, Ellis won't be here, but someone that will be here is extra host Maria Menounos is coming in. Yeah, she's going to be our guest next week.
Out, buddy.
Yeah, she's our.
I got my show next Thursday in Nashville.
Yeah, well, Maria Menounos will be here next week, and she will be talking about her brand new movie, and we'll have her about for 45 minutes next week.
Tell her I said hi.
Johnny Ice is losing his mind right now. He's got steam coming out of his ears. He's very excited right now. Kenny's holding him back because Kenny wants to talk first. And we're going to have Schmoeville. We'll always have Schmoeville here to talk and figure out what's going on, what's wrong. What's up? Yeah, come here.
Everybody, if you go to Schmoes Intern channel, I got a new video going up in about 10 minutes. It's called Red Box Rescue, where I help people pick in Red Box movies pick the right ones.
Look at the plug. I like it. I like the brass on this kid.
Well, the only thing left in this show is Christian to do his trademark line that 4 people like. Are you ready?
See you later, guys.
Mother F's. Is that it?